going on, everybody? How are we doing on this fine Thursday evening? I'm your host, Eric, and welcome to Q2C VR Gamer Live. We are a weekly VR podcast that broadcasts live simultaneously, sometimes to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you cannot catch us live, you can catch us on your favorite podcast platform afterwards on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, or Google. Thanks for being here tonight, everybody. This is going to be a very cool show. I've got two of my best friends in the world here tonight helping me out to take care of work while Todd is relaxing and baking in the Roatan sun. Welcome, Wes and Ruuts from Virtual Strangers. What's up, fellas?
I'm doing good, actually. Spy Guy says he's wondering if this is a Virtual Strangers episode. And
pretty much is.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he's not paying attention because Eric's talking first now, so that means it's a whole different thing, bro.
Totally different.
I like Wes's intro way better than my intro. It's so much easier. It's so much easier, Wes, when you can just sit there and let you do all the work, and I could just chime in with a bunch of bullshit every once in a while.
I know it's why this is so great, because typically I'll let you guys in on a little secret, something you might not all know about me. When I'm not on the air doing VR podcast, I'm actually just sitting right here in front of my camera waiting. So it's nice to not just be staring at a powered down camera for a change on a Thursday night.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Don't we all do that? I thought we all did that.
Well, it's practice, bro. It's the only way to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ruuts, how you doing, man?
I'm doing really good, actually. Life is good. I say every day God wakes me up is a good day. So it's a good day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's a good day. So much going on. We have an awesome show for everybody tonight. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. And Todd, if you're watching out in Roatan or wherever you are by the pool, relaxing, thanks for hanging out and watching us if you're watching us.
Hey, Tech's here. Techno Glitch is here.
What? Is Techno Glitch here?
Yeah. Who doesn't love Tech? I'm hoping Tech wins. I'm crossing my fingers.
If you're watching this, Todd is watching. Todd is in the chat. Todd, bro,
hey,
I need in the guild, man. I need you to rescind your powers to someone who's able to play for the next month, bro. I need in the guild, dude.
I don't know if we can do that from there.
Wes, who basically is the host of Virtual Strangers, cannot get into the Q2C Virtual Strangers Guild. Yeah. He was voted out. Yeah, he was voted out.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is Todd could stay gone for like 6 months and still none of us would be on his level in the game.
Yeah. He's like way behind. He's like so far behind now. Because I think he's like level 19. I've got some moderators that are like in the 30s already.
Dude, I'm stuck in a fucking mountain, bro. Like, I want to get out. Dude, I'm going to have to go after the show. I'm going to have to go check because I still haven't checked. And I might just have to roll with the other guy. And I like his name better, but my problem with him is he's melee. I don't like this. Although one thing I did really enjoy, and I never even really talked about this anywhere. This is a first. Didn't even talk about this on Virtual Strangers yesterday. So I decided to switch to melee just to check it out, and I was really frustrated for quite a while. But then I found the dash button, and that dash, the dash. It's kind of, I mean, it really it's all about getting in there, smacking them, and doing all your things, and then dashing out before they can hit you. And then it changed everything. It really evened it up, and it was kind of cool. So maybe I will just roll with it for a while. It's kind of a bummer to get to level 12 and then get stuck in a mountain.
Ruuts' mountain.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Mountain. That's my mountain.
We had another comment today from Chris9989, who also saw you floating in the game. So you're a monument. You're a monument.
This is the best thing that could ever happen, man.
I might have to just leave that guy in there for real.
I wouldn't even just let it be for it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, we could level you back up in like 3.
I'm already level 5.
Yeah, we could get in there. We could get in there tonight and get you up to level 10. I guarantee it.
Absolutely.
And then your Ruuts' mountain forever with the cookie
immortalized.
Orange Julius.
I want to be immortalized. Traveling Man says just he just fast traveled out. My problem is I cannot log into the game. It just says literally, which is kind of ironic. You were already in the game. You know, if this isn't or something, just wait a minute. It'll be fixed in a minute. And it's been like, I think thousands of minutes at this point. So I don't know that it's gonna. I think they were lying to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It'll
that's
be
a
the next
bullshit response.
The next server flush probably will be when your character is released from its temporary suspension.
I hope,
Hey,
not.
just
I hope you're
enjoy
there
Roots
forever.
Mountain.
I
Yeah.
hope you're immortalized forever.
Well,
Oh.
now that we've decided we want that to happen, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
5 minutes
hell yeah.
ago, I was like, "That's bullshit, dude."
Hell yeah.
We need to. I wonder if we make it a large donation to the Ramen VR, if they would like put it on the map and make it a fast travel point, so that we could all just kind of meet at Roots.
Yeah,
when
at
we
Roots Mountain with the tree.
Yeah.
Roots.
That would be sweet.
Rootsy in the sky with diamonds.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's say hi to our chat. See what's going
Hello,
on.
chat.
We got Virtual Stranger said, "Hola, amigos." Hola, Wes. Karina Stimson is here. Traveling man. He says, "Hey, Wes." We have Felipe Lieras. He said, "Hey, everybody." And Ashley Trouble is here. Hey, Ashley, how you doing? Serenity is here. Paul Fennessy, Facebook user, who I just absolutely love. Facebook user. We got Kyle Kitchens, VR Spry Guy. He was here early, VR Spry Guy. And Orland Hooper is here. Hey, Orland, how you doing? We got Chi-Town D is in the house. Chi-Town D is actually in the house. Chi-Town D is actually right there in the house. Hey, Chi-Town D, how you doing? Does she know she's on camera?
I don't think so.
Now I
She was watching the live feed
in the house.
I'm trying to keep track with the wheel over here. You know,
we just want to say hi, D.
People popping up, keeping me busy.
Yeah, see, D is taking care of everybody for the amazing amount of giveaways we got tonight. Thank you, D. We'll see you in a little bit.
I'll be here.
I just love doing that stuff.
People don't understand that that when we're not on the air, that there are actual hamsters that live in the wheel. So
that's right.
D has to wrangle all those critters before we give any games away.
That's right.
She's running the D wheel. The D wheel.
D wheel. You know who loves to run the D wheel?
Oh.
My mom. She's good at it too.
Todd
says if Roots gets a monument before him, he's gonna be pissed.
Oh my god!
It's already happened.
He's been playing this game for 4 years.
Roots Mountain.
You get Roots Mountain. He's stuck in Roatan, can't even get completely killed. We got Wolveraza's here. What's going on, Wolveraza? How you doing, man? Otakazi is here. He says rerun from yesterday. Kind of. I'm in a much better mood today than I was yesterday. I got a little heated yesterday.
Yeah, you were a little.
I had a couple people message me saying, "Do you really hate all these games?" I can't wait to play virtual reality too, though. It's gotten such a good reception so far. So
has it? Has it really?
It has not. But that's what's interesting is like the first one. First one was good. I thought. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. I tried to play it.
The first one or the second one?
The first one. Yesterday or the day before, I tried to play the Viveport version on my G2, and it booted in. Like I could get into the game, but the controls were less than perfect. Like to grab things, I had to click the thumbsticks in, and it just wasn't comfortable. No, wait a minute. I'm lying. I'm thinking of another game that we'll talk about soon enough. No, with the virtual reality, I think it was the thumbsticks that weren't working at all. Like I could pick things up, but I couldn't like reel them in, and I couldn't turn. So I just played something else. Played Hitman.
Oh, Ashley says her Bobo VR came in.
What? That was quick, man. That guy's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Congratulations on upgrade. I mean, she was running a jock strap, wasn't she?
No, she wasn't. Was she really?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she's probably in heaven right now after getting that thing off her head.
Absolutely.
We got Kubo92 is here. How you doing, man? Let's see. We got Michelle Dillon is here. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Lamplighter is here. That would be Todd. How you doing, Todd? Hope everything is well with you. And we got Techno Glitch and Michelle B. Hey, Michelle B. How are you? Paul Fennessy. I think I said Paul Fennessy. And am I getting everybody? Mepper is here. What's going on, Mepper? How you doing, man? Mepper was saying yesterday that he has more time in Zenith than he has in any other VR game. I think that's crazy, but great. I mean, I guess people are loving this, man. People are loving this. Mr. Tasselhoff is here. Mind Jive is here.
I bet Mapper has dreams at night about going to a spot and putting his hand up and then going back.
Well, I mean, hoping that's the dream, right? Ashley said she picked up a second headset as well.
What?
What?
Really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So now
Man,
that
it's
maybe
on
I guess
now.
her daughter can get in there and Zenith it up or whatever.
After the follow up. Yeah.
Mm.
We got Terry
Other things
Church
you can do.
here. Oh, I'm sorry, Wes. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I was just saying there's a lot of things you can do with this. A second headset if set up correctly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Wes knows all the tricks and
Yeah. What do you got? You got 3 headsets in your house, Wes?
I've got 2 quests. I've got HP Reverb G2 and I've got 2 PlayStation VR. So I've got 5.
That's it.
Covered.
That's all. Just 5.
Just all. Yeah. About to be 6.
We got 5 people. There's 5 people living here. Here's the thing, though. It was all about getting the extra headset so that we could have 5 one for everyone. And now nobody wants to play PlayStation VR. So
Yeah, right.
I'm the only one. I could sell one of my PSVRs right now, and it wouldn't be anything. Like it wouldn't make any difference.
Might be a good idea. Get time to get
Maybe
get rid of it and get ready for the new one. You know what I mean? Move out the old. Make space for the new. We got Rattlehead is here. Terry Church is here. Chaz Jr. is here. Let's see. I just want to make sure Warmark is here. Hey, Warmark, how you doing, man? I think
Techno Glitch says he's got 7. Why I don't know. Yeah, but he's
7
got
headsets?
New York
No,
money.
he doesn't. Does he really have 7?
New York money, bro.
Really?
that's for real.
He was wide.
Donate. You got enough headsets to donate to like
Dude,
the less fortunate.
It's him and Laura and his dog.
Mm.
He's got 7 headsets. And Michelle Dillon says, "No, we will keep it." So it doesn't look like you're getting rid of it anytime soon, Wes.
Ashley wants to know where D is. D's out there. She's in the ether, floating around, waiting for one button. Mash will push, and she will slide right back in. Yeah, so you can't keep doing that to D. She needs to know that she's.
I heard it this time. I'm ready.
You better be ready, man. He's going to be like, who knows, man, trying to eat something. And like,
dude.
I know. I was about to do it, but then I heard him say something. I'm like, all right.
You're gonna get the quesadilla going in her mouth, and I was like, "Click, hey D."
If you look at your screen, D, there's a little picture of a camera in a circle. If you click that, you'll still be here, but you can eat quesadillas and shit, and we won't be able to see it.
That's true. But that's no fun, Wes. Don't tell her these things. All right, D. We'll see you in a bit.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah.
D is awesome, man. D has volunteered, Wes. Well, actually, I volunteered her to take care of all of our timestamps.
Oh wow,
that's an important role. I know I've had Simplex in the comments for 2 or 3 episodes in a row, expressing gratitude because my wife does the same thing for our videos. So shout out, wifey! A big thank you, all the way from Poland, from Simplex. So,
yeah, and it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work to do these things, and it's not fun work by any means either. So yeah, thank you to Michelle for doing it for Virtual Strangers, and thank you to D for about to be taking it over for us, because when you get like 2-hour videos, you need to be able to timestamp it so people can get to what they want. And maybe people don't want to sit to a 3-hour video. Like I know we went 3 hours last week on Virtual Strangers, and we went 3 hours here last week too. So got to be able to cut things up.
I say, fuck them. You're gonna watch it.
Let them watch every bit of it.
I guess timestamps are good, but I question your soul if you're gonna skip some of our show.
Don't skip it.
What are you doing?
You never know what's gonna happen.
We did 14 hours. You know that, right?
That was awesome. That was a banger.
Did you timestamp that one?
I would
That's
say
a lot of
that
work.
she probably did. Yeah.
Timestamping a 14-hour show is that's like a commitment.
I don't remember specifically, but I would be surprised if she didn't timestamp that one because she's dedicated. So
yeah, she is for sure. I just want to say hi to Karina Stimson. I missed her, and Troy Gillis is here. How you doing, Troy and Karina? And I think I have everybody else covered. The Sept is here. Hey, the Sept, and D Millen. D Millen is here also. Guys, thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate it. We have a million things to talk about tonight. We have a special guest coming on. Wes has a hard out at like 10 or so or whatever like that, because Wes has to go to work. So thank you for just being here and doing this, man. I appreciate it. And you and Ruuts, thank you for being here and doing this. And
dude, I always be here for you, bro.
I hate being here by myself, man. It sucks.
Well, like I said, I would have been sitting here in front of the camera anyway. So no big deal, bro.
I appreciate it. But we got some cool stuff to give away. We got some cool stuff to talk about. I'll tease a little bit. We've got a couple donated keys. I just want to say again, this community between here and the community and Virtual Strangers, because there's a lot of crossover now, guys. It's amazing. I've got people messaging me. I get out of the show on Thursday night or Wednesday night, and I already have messages from people saying, "Hey, I'd love to be able to donate a key for the next week's show." And I had 2 people do that this week. We'll talk about them a little bit later. I'll talk about who they are and what they donated, but we do have keys given away tonight. We're going to give a Zenith key away again tonight, guys. Probably one of the hottest games out there that you can find. We're going to give a key to Zenith away, donated by one of our members, which we'll talk about later. We're going to give a key to Arcade away, which this guy keeps freaking working on this game like crazy, man, doing updates to this game. This game's getting better and better. It's got a pinball mode now, which I don't even know what the hell it is, but I want to check it out, right?
I don't even know how you would incorporate a pinball mode. Now I'm really intrigued.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he just did dual pistols not too long ago, right? And then I know he had said one time too that he was working on some new bosses, so the boss fights weren't so kind of samey. So yeah, the guy keeps putting into that game, which is an awesome game to begin with. And we got a key to Song on the Smoke to give away, and then we have a special guest coming in right about after Wes leaves. We have a special guest coming in, and she's got like 3 games to give away. So tons of stuff, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
crazy.
But let's get into what we've been playing a little bit this week. I want to talk a little bit about Wanderer, just because it's such a good game, and Wes actually finished it. I think I've got probably about, I want to say, I think I have 6 or 7 hours into it or something like that. And Ruuts has probably about 3 or 4 hours into it.
3 hours, yeah.
So, I mean, we would have had more if you didn't get the shitty glitch, early on that I think they've fixed now. But Wes, if you maybe want to talk a little bit about Wanderer, and just, I'm just blown away by this game, and I think I said it last night on our show, on the Virtual Strangers of Night show, that how much this game has kind of like hit me, and especially a game that I'm not a big puzzle fan, so
Well, that's the thing about it, right? Because I mean, technically, if you have to put a genre on it, it is a puzzle game. But we have puzzle games. In my opinion, it isn't the puzzling that makes this game so great. It's an adventure. I consider it more of an adventure game. Only instead of using like stealth or like combat ability, you're using your ability to solve problems to progress through the game. But it's very much a story-driven adventure. It reminds me of kind of like a smaller studio's attempt at making like a Sony game, because this is the type of games that Sony makes, right? These big, long, story-driven adventure games, and it's kind of like that. It reminds me of something very much that would be PlayStation exclusive, and I don't think it's any accident that we first learned about Wanderer from Sony and from their PlayStation VR showcase. This very much fits the role.
Yeah, I mean, it sure does. I mean, it's such high production from a VR developer who's never made a VR game before, too, right?
Right. Yeah. Not a big team either. But this is their first offering in VR, and that's why it's so surprising. The production quality, like the look and sound of the game, is top notch. I mean, I can count on my hands maybe the number of games that are kind of in this league as far as visuals, maybe a little bit more, 15 if I'm generous. But I mean, when you talk about a catalog of 3,000 games, that's pretty rarefied air, right? And again, that's not why this game is so great. It's the storytelling. It's the fact that it's so unique, not only in the way it tells the story, but the way the puzzles all kind of interact with one another. I mean, it's not completely unique, of course. It does. We did have Flow Weaver, which was kind of the same concept on a much smaller scale. But really, this is the best example of this type of problem solving game that I've seen.
Yeah. I thought a lot of the stuff, that the interactivity with the way you use the artifacts into the bottom of your wristwatch to get from level to level was kind of a cool effect, a cool idea. The inventory system I thought was cool, being inside the watch, being able to upgrade the watch for the inventory system I thought was cool. But just the whole time travel thing, man. I mean, Ruuts, time travel in VR is like so good, right? I mean, pretty much you put any time travel in a VR game, it's pretty much good.
Yeah, and I would say that the fact that the story that's built around it, like it's so intriguing that like you have all these historical things that going on, but everything's off just a little bit, right? And so like just from the very beginning, when I was on the moon, and you're like, oh, what the fuck happened here? You know what I mean? Like it's just cool to see. Eh, like I think somebody mentioned, I think you mentioned, or somebody in the chat mentioned on the Virtual Strangers, saying that if you've or a fan of Quantum Leap, you would be a fan of this show. And that was what I loved that show. And that was one of those things, you're going in there to make right what once went wrong. And it's like somebody went around and fucked everything up, all these memories, all these things that the moon landing, everything. And so like it's your duty to try to fix it, I guess. And I haven't delved into the story even far enough to even fathom what's going on, right? But that's what I keep thinking about. I need to go back in there. Maybe I'll do that tonight.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. And of course, if the watch doesn't give you strong enough clues, all you gotta do is hit me up now, bro. We've been there and done that, so I know how to point you in the right direction without solving the puzzle for you.
Yeah. Wes has beat the game now. He said it took you about 15 hours, but you're all the way through the game, which is I want to see the story play out. So I'm kind of jealous that you've gone through and beat the game, because I mean, just some of these locations. I mean, guys, I don't want to spoil it where you go. I'll just say, I mean, your Ruuts already said you go to the moon. You go to freaking Woodstock, man. How cool is that?
Yeah.
You're on the stage at Woodstock.
It's crazy. I just haven't got that far.
I just spoiled it for you.
I saw the in the trailer, the drums.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all been revealed through the promo material. But the cool thing is the ending of that level. Once you solve that, there's still more to do, and that's something that we really haven't talked about. We've talked about this game a few times now, and we've talked about it as this puzzler. We've talked about how beautiful it is and how great that they are at telling stories. But what we have failed to mention is the other residual things that you do in this game. It's not just puzzles. It's mostly puzzles, but there are areas where you have to shoot with guns. Like you have to defend against enemies with handguns. There are areas where you have to defend against enemies with bows and arrows. There's a level where you have to play through a complete song as a rhythm game before you can finish the level. There's a lot of other things that you have to do in this other than solving puzzles. And, again, completely unique in this type of a game.
I think it's ironic that right as you said what you just said, Wolf Raza just typed up there, would be more excited to play Wander if it had weapons and enemies along with everything else.
It
just
does.
pay attention. And then you said exactly what you said. You just said there are enemies and weapons.
Multiple. Yeah. There's 2 or 3 sequences where you have to defend using a handguns. One of them kind of futuristic, another one kind of an older weapon. And then there's one level where you have to defend against waves using a chain gun. Like, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Dude.
Hell yeah. It's just a good game, guys. I mean, I don't know if we can't say any more about it. That it's such a good game. To me, it really is already a game that I think we'll be talking about at the end of the year for game of the year. And we have basically almost a whole year to go. Plus maybe a new headset coming soon with new games coming for that as well. And I think we'll still be talking about this game.
Yeah, the cool thing too about these sections and the whole game really is anything that you can pick up, you can put in your inventory and bring back, like, and take into the other timelines. So, like that bow and arrow you pick up, you keep it for the rest of the game. That pistol, you keep that for the rest of the game, and you can assassinate anyone through any of the timelines. Like you can just go kill any of them. It won't get you very far. Obviously, they'll make you start over, but. Sometimes it's just fun to look at a historical asshole and pull the trigger.
I guess the bottom line is you're not there to alter time in that way by killing that particular person, right? You failed, bro. We got to do it over again.
Yep, start again. Did you kill the lady on the skiff with the flare gun? Because
I killed the lady that was standing up on the bridge, the one that was yelling. I killed her
with a flare gun.
And made you start over.
Flare gun.
Damn,
Yes, I
that's a
did.
pretty good shot, bro.
That
'Cause
is.
I had trouble hitting the cans at first. I was like, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We had a couple new people stop in. I just want to say hi. Mark Caldwell's here. He said we're going on an adventure. Marcelo Iglesias said he's new to the community, new to the channel, first time here, and he said thank you for the warm welcome. Thank you for being here, Marcelo. Man, thanks for hanging out with us, and yeah, sit back and relax. It's going to be a really good show. And who else? Laura's here, and I think that was Scat is here too. So I just want to say hi to everybody. Yeah. So I mean, go get the game, guys. That's all we can say, right? It's such a good game. If you're available to play, to play PCVR. I mean, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't play this game. Because it's
Are you afraid? Are you afraid that it's coming to Quest? Do you think that they're up to the task? I mean, it's a pretty demanding game.
I mean, I had thought I had heard at one point that they were going to bring that game, but I don't think it is even mentioned. I don't know where I had heard it from. Maybe it was just somebody talking.
I read it
about
recently. I read it within the last few days that it was coming from some. I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody within our bubble.
Yeah.
Who said so? So I don't know. But
I looked at their stuff, and I don't see anything where I could find it because I did go look to see if that was confirmed anywhere, and I just can't find it. So maybe it is out there somewhere where I'm not looking. But from them on their stuff, there's nothing that says Quest.
Perhaps it's for the best, right?
I don't want to see it get crapped. That's the only thing. I don't want another Ionia. You know what I mean? Ionia was not a good game to begin with on PCVR, but it was a far better game on PCVR than it was on the Quest. And
yeah, we did recommend it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, let me ask you this: if you could play it on the Quest 2, graphically downgraded, but everything else works. The story is there, the interaction with all the objects, everything else works, but it's flat. You know what I mean? It's not that it's flat, but everything's a little duller, or maybe everything's not as, you know what I mean? The grass looks a little flatter. It's Quest. It's going to be Quest. It's going to be, whatever Saints and Sinners is on the Quest 2 compared to the PCVR. Would you be okay with that?
If Saints and Sinners is the example you're going to use, then absolutely.
Well, yeah.
It just depends on how they do with it. It's not like it's impossible to produce amazing games on the Quest 2. Look at Medal of Honor. You know what I mean? Look at Red Matter. There are beautiful games. Look at Sniper Elite.
Game.
Yeah, exactly. It is possible for them to pull it off. But we've seen a lot of the opposite end of the spectrum too. That it's not a lock that it's going to be ugly if it comes to the standalone. It's just, it's a coin flip, right?
It's the same conversation that we've talked, or I was even mentioning last night about Zenith, and that everybody's saying you couldn't play an open world game on it like Windlands 2 or whatever, and that wasn't true. Some developers didn't know how to do it, or didn't want to put the time in it to do it, didn't have the know-how, right? So
I mean, they just gotta do it. But again, first time developer, not a big team. We'll just have to see. Let's see what happens. I mean, you would have to think that everybody wants to put things on the Quest. That's where the money is, really. You know what I mean? That's where it all is. So I'm sure they want to, but I would want them to do it right. Don't do it wrong. If you're gonna do it, don't do it wrong and like Ionia and try to just do a money grab and put it on there just to make money.
What a time to put a VR game out. I mean, like, could you imagine if you were faced with, imagine you've been developing for 3 years now, living off of investments and donations to your company. You can release it now, which is a pretty decent, amount of users outside of Quest, on PlayStation and on PC, or if you wait maybe 6 or 9 months, now we've got Cambria. Now we have PlayStation VR 2, and now we have a whole new wave of people who are looking for games to play on their new hardware. It's got to be a tough decision, right? Do you take the money or do you hold out? It makes you wonder who's holding out, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it makes me wonder if companies like Shell Games are holding out, and what they're doing in between is they're making these smaller mobile easy games before they can put their next big game out on, say, a PSVR 2 or or waiting while they're building a bigger game. You know what I mean? So, maybe a lot of these smaller games we're seeing from these bigger companies, like what was the one from the makers of Budget Cut? Was that Neat?
Yeah, neat
They just put out
Garden of the Sea.
the Chicken of the Sea game.
Yeah, Chicken of the Sea.
Maybe they're doing that. Maybe that's, instead of putting out Budget Cuts 3, or they're going to wait and they're going to put these smaller games out to have some way to make some revenue before they get to their bigger games. It makes sense, I guess. I hate it, but it makes sense.
Absolutely, and you can't blame them either.
No, not at all, because again, these development companies in virtual reality are not they're not making billions of dollars and millions of dollars. A lot of these companies are employing people that probably have other jobs, you know what I mean, to keep going, you know what I mean? So I have no problem with them doing these things if that's the case, if that's what they're doing. I don't have a problem with that. I just want to say that somebody said, I can't remember. Oh, it was Michelle B who said she doesn't have PCVR, but she can try Plutosphere while it's free. And just an announcement. So next week, we've got a guest host that's going to come on and help me do this. It's going to be Z-Storm Games, Zach from Z-Storm Gaming. But with him, I'm also going to bring on Daniel Nelmar from Plutosphere, who's going to come and talk about Plutosphere, tell us all about it, give us some inside info, and I'll be trying it out this week, and I'll let everybody know next Thursday, how it went. To try it this weekend and this week, and maybe Ruuts and Wes want to give it a try too, to see.
Absolutely. Do you have a Wi-Fi 6 router?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna. I also have availability to try it with a regular router as well. So just for the sake of seeing how it works, I'll probably try it both ways to see how bad it would be without the 6. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I have a Wi-Fi 5 that everybody else in the household runs on, and I have the 6 that I run everything else on for myself. So I can actually turn one off and go to the other one to test it out.
Well, if you can get me access, and I know that that's kind of a if, but I do not have a Wi-Fi 6 router. I have a very good 5 router, but it's standalone. Like I have a router for everyone else in my house, and then I have my nice gaming router that I use for my VR and my computer. So, yeah, I'd be glad to test that aspect of it out. They say you only need 50 down, and I've got that easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so it is. You don't have to worry about your upload. It's all download. So, yeah, so if you can get even close to that, it'd be good. And yeah, I mean, definitely, we have access, guys. So if you want to try it out, it is free. You can just get into it for free for a certain amount of hours. And when you get over those hours, you need to buy tokens. Oh, I have tokens. So just let me know when you go past that, and I can just give you the tokens. That's all.
Nice.
But you just sign up for it, and it's free right now to everybody. It is in an alpha. So anybody can do it right now. It's free for a certain period of time. That you can you'll get so many tokens for, and you can play for so many hours on a token, and then you have to either buy more tokens or however that works. But yeah, something that we're going to take a look at and check out, because if we can bring more PCVR to people, that would be cool.
Dude, if it works, it's going to be revolutionary. I mean, it's going to. I mean, this conversation around Quest 2 not being as good as is just going to vanish overnight if this is good.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Paul Fennessy wants to know what is still. He says he's still wondering what's in the box. I still think it's Gwyneth Paltrow's head from.
What's in the box?
From wasn't that who was Brad Pitt's wife in that movie?
Yeah. Yep. I think so too. I think it was $100 billion. It was a bet that Zuckerberg won that he wouldn't change the company name to Meta. Somebody was paying it off. Here's your billion.
It was a bet. I bet you won't go on the air with barbecue sauce on the bookshelf.
Here's your billion. I owe you. Too funny. But yeah, that'll be next week, guys. We'll check it out, and maybe Ruuts and Wes can check it out too, and we can talk a little bit about it on virtual as well. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be cool. So yeah, that's Wander, guys. And then guys, I know we're almost 9:40 already. Let's why don't we give away a game real quick, and then we'll get into some PlayStation stuff, because I was gonna just wait and have Wes and Ruuts talk about it on Sunday, but it's just such a hot topic. I mean, we were talking about it we probably could have not went on the air and just sat here, getting ready, and we were talking about it already. And then, so we were like, screw it, let's just talk about it. So let's give away a key real quick because people have been patient and waiting. So let's give away a key to Song in the Smoke. This is your choice. Anybody out there? First of all, anybody who has not commented out there, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube, just comment and say hello, hey, say Ruuts has the best beard. I love Wes's City 17. Eric looks goofy. Whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and put it up there just so we know. And then D can get you on the wheel, which the wheel looks pretty big, D. Good job. You know who else has a big D wheel?
My
mom. Oh, yeah, she does.
It does. And she will.
Yeah.
She loves it.
I see Crystal Lee stopped in. Larry Kirk stopped in. How's it going, guys? How you doing? Chatty is here. How you doing, Chatty? Chatty won something last week. I think they won a key last week to Audio Trip last week. So that was cool too. Good for them.
Somebody says you need a beard, Wes, but they don't know that you can't have one for work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's forbidden at my plant. I
We
can't have a beard.
We saw the beginnings of one a while ago, right? During the middle of COVID when you were wearing your mask all the time and you could kind of hide it. I think you had a little something going.
Yeah, no, I shave like once every other week. So like you just caught me like close to one of my shaving days. But yeah, the mask helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Plus I work like late. So like the office is always gone. Like if I worked on day shift, the mask wouldn't even matter, but they'd nail me. But there are fewer people at work when I'm there, so that's helpful as well.
Marcelo wants to know how I handled the mask with my beard. One, I try not to wear the mask as much as possible. That's just me personally. But if I do have to wear it, this is the problem. It's like, and this is real. This is like, imagine putting a mask on your head. Okay, you've just done your hair, and you're walking around with this mask on it, and then you take it off. What's going to happen to your hair? Well, my beard becomes bed beard. Okay. So like all of a sudden, like I don't even realize I'm talking to a customer. My beard's like, hey, what's up? I should look like this, right?
That's perfect.
Yeah. It's just it's not fashionable.
Yeah. Yeah. Ashes to ashes. Want to know if you tuck it. She's asking for a friend. Do you tuck it?
I did not tuck it. My beard. At some point, once it gets long enough, I'm gonna have it.
Yeah, hell yeah. And Onakazi says Eric looks goofy. Thanks, buddy. Well, let's Song in the Smoke. Great game, right, guys? I mean,
absolutely
one of the best games that we had last year. 17-bit, I believe. Am I right? 17-bit.
Yep.
Another new VR developer who came out with a killer game last year too. So yeah, you guys can have your choice, Steam or Quest. But yeah, great game.
Amazing game on all platforms. And it may look cartoony and pretty if you look at the promo material. That is a hardcore, legit game. That's no. It's not for the faint of heart. Like that game is legit, and it starts out easy enough, but it ramps up pretty quickly.
Yeah, and they had the hardcore mode too, which makes it even harder if you want to go through and try that crap.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
No way.
It's more realistic. They say you get hurt and it makes you like slow, and you get tired and you get slow, and yeah.
I want easy mode, like one that lets me experience the story, but a little bit of hunting, a little bit of everything, right? Maybe you've got to gather a third of the sticks or an eighth of the sticks, even. That would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to have to drink. I don't want to have to chop wood. I hate chopping wood in VR. Actually, I hate chopping wood in any video game. That's why I hated New World so much. They made you chop wood like crazy.
Yeah,
all right, oh god, so
too much.
Too much, man. All right, let's bring D in here and we'll give this key away so we can get into some PlayStation VR talk. D, I gave you a little notice this time. You okay?
Yeah, no, I got your number now, Mash. I'm good.
Oh yeah, look at the D wheel. It's huge, and you changed the colors for us too.
I tried matching it to the whole Q2C stuff, but obviously it's not perfect.
You're
not
fired,
as good as Todd's wheel. So
I know. Todd is like he didn't want to give up the wheel. He was like, I can't let her have the wheel. No, I'm just kidding.
That's okay. I got this.
I'm only kidding. So
he
yeah,
can't
cool.
he can't let people join the guild either.
He
Apparently,
just wants himself in the guild by himself. That's all it was.
He is the guild, bro.
He's the guild.
Todd is the guild.
All right, Ash Stash says the D wheel. This is the D wheel. From now on, this is what it is. It's the D wheel. Good job, D. All right, you think we got everybody on there, D?
Yep.
All right, let's spin this thing and give somebody an amazing game. We don't have, you guys gonna say we don't.
Well, this wheel slows down a lot faster than
Oh,
Todd.
it
Millen.
does. D.
oh
Millen.
yes,
D Millen.
I
What
know.
up?
Todd's wheel just keeps going. It just like keeps going.
Yeah, there's a timer that you can set on this thing. So yeah.
Yeah, slow that down a little bit. For
All right.
for suspense, right?
Yeah, good job. Congratulations, D Millen. You just got yourself an amazing game. A really amazing game.
A really good one.
Yeah, I mean, and you can have it on either platform because I've got it on. Did I say Rift? I think I didn't mean Rift. I had it on. I have it on. You get it. It is cross buy. So if you want the Quest version, you do get the Rift version with it. But I do have it on Steam as well, so you can have either one.
And the advantage of getting it on Steam is you can share it with 5 of your Steam friends through the family sharing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Spry Guy's got a good point. Todd's wheel is more of like a psych. You know what I mean?
It is too. You never know.
It makes it look like it's going to stop, and then it stops like 5 names down the road. It just keeps going, right?
Yeah, for sure. Awesome job, D. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you, D.
Oh, D's the best. She's like become a staple of our communities lately, right?
She's like our Vanna White.
Yep.
Oh, she is. Ta-da.
Who doesn't love Chinatown, D?
I don't even know. Did anybody even notice? D, I'm going to bring you back in.
Bring it. Okay.
Did anybody even notice D's name down here in the corner?
Somebody did in the chat.
I did that for Mash, and he didn't even notice.
Mash
so
doesn't
good.
notice anything, dude.
I don't.
Makes me sad.
You guys think I'm all calm and collected? I'm like freaking crazy on the inside right now, trying to run everything.
I did
I
my
do
beard
not think
special
that you
for
are
Mash
calm and
today. He
collected.
did,
Nope.
Mash didn't even mention anything. I did my beard special for him, and he hasn't even said
So
anything.
good. I did notice Wes's Metallica shirt, which I absolutely love. I did notice.
I know.
Wes has all cool shirts.
He does. He does. He does. All right, D. Thank you. Chinatown, D. Oh, guys. All right, guys. Let's. What do you think? Let's jump into this. So, 2 things happened last week. Facebook or PlayStation finally came out and they gave us a landing page for the PlayStation VR 2. So you can officially now go onto the PlayStation Store. They have a landing page for the PlayStation VR 2 with a sign up, so you can get news and you can get news on the early buy. So when it's about to be announced or launched, you will get notifications so you can get in there and get in and be signed up for the early buy. So great, fantastic news. We're all happy as shit. It's coming. We were a little nervous, but now it's definitely coming, right? It's 100% coming. And then the story comes out. They're in negotiations with Tobii to have for eye tracking. Well, they've already said they're definitely having eye tracking in this headset. So if they're in negotiations with a company to get the eye tracking, that means they're not making anything right now. So if they're not making anything yet, when do we think this thing is coming out? We got some mixed signals, Wes. What do you think?
I think that that they're playing with my heart, man. It's like a friggin' roller coaster following this thing because it's coming, it's not coming. Oh, now it's coming again. Like I don't know what to think, man. I have a difficult time believing that Sony would get out and make statements about something as huge as a big breakthrough technologically as dynamic foveated rendering. Eye tracking based dynamic foveated rendering, we've never seen being implemented into a VR system before. We've heard lots of talk about it, mainly through Oculus Connect year after year after year. And we've had various headsets come out over the last 4 years that have eye tracking, but no one's been able to quite crack the code, if you will, for eye tracking based dynamic foveated rendering. And for those of you out there who don't know what that is, Basically, it is a hypothetically speaking, if you know where the user is looking, you can concentrate your compute power to making that part of the image super sharp, super detailed, and the stuff in your peripheral that you're not looking at that doesn't have the detail. Basically, it's a means to save compute power and allow you to get a lot more out of whatever mobile chip or console or computer that you're using. It's something we've been hearing about for years, but nobody's been quite able to pull it off. And just so soon as last year, we had John Carmack from Facebook basically downplaying it, saying that it's not really worth the trouble to try to implement something like this. We've had Sony basically since they officially revealed the specs in early January, claiming that this is going to be a feature of the new PlayStation VR2 headset. And I just find it hard to believe that they would make such a bold statement. That's a bold statement. I have a hard time believing that they would say that if they didn't already have it working perfectly. But with that said, this is all new management at Sony, even up in the highest levels. So they have no track record, honestly, to fall back on. So who knows? Maybe they're just talking out of their ass. Certainly not what I wanted to hear. It's a little worrisome, but over time, I'm starting to feel a little bit better about it.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's definitely mixed signals. So, and we all said this. We talked about this last night after the show. We were sitting there just talking about it and couldn't believe what was going on. And I think we all kind of said, why would they put themselves in such a terrible position to negotiate with Toby if they've already come out and said, we are going to have eye tracking in this headset? Now they're negotiating for eye tracking. If I was Toby, I would sit there and just say, well, we're the number one. Nobody else is doing eye tracking like Toby. That's a fact. Okay, they're breaking ground. Toby is. So if they need to go to Toby's in such a good spot. Just sit there and wait and make them pay you whatever you want to make them pay you. So why would Sony ever put themselves in that position? And again, the only thing I can think of is, number one, maybe it's not a hardware thing. Maybe it's a software thing. Or two, you're right, Wes. Maybe this new management doesn't know what the frick they're doing.
Mepper says there speculation that Sony was trying to do it themselves, ran into difficulties, and so wanted to bring in Toby to fix it. Maybe they had people working on it that were saying they could do it. They thought they were, maybe they're running into problems, or it was maybe what I was saying last night. Same thing. Maybe it's just the authorization for it, right? Or I guess Wes said that. It was that they've got it all set, and they just need to buy the rights to use it, right? So,
and it's all speculation. Yes, that's the scary, that's the worst case scenario, Mepper, is that Sony couldn't quite get it to work, so that they brought Toby in to try to fix something so that they can deliver on what they've promised. We hope that that's not the situation, and to be quite honest, I'd be shocked if it were. I think that it's much more likely that they've been working with the Toby software for years at this point, and this negotiation that recently got revealed to the press is nothing more than a negotiation over licensing fees and a way for Toby to get paid for Sony using this in a product that's about to go to market. I think that's the most likely scenario, and I hope that that's all that this amounts to.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, because it was speculated for a long time about eye tracking, but Sony didn't officially announce anything about eye tracking until just recently. So why would they even come out and say anything about eye tracking if they weren't 100% confirmed that they already have it in the bag, ready to go, and it's operating? I mean, they've had dev kits out for over a year. Does that mean that none of these dev kits that they've had out there have any type of eye tracking in them? That means that no games right now being developed are set up for the foveated rendering and the eye tracking. So if that's the case, I mean, why would they put themselves in this position? I just don't understand it.
I think that some of we need to keep in mind that we need to make a distinction between eye tracking and then eye tracking based foveated rendering. Eye tracking is the hardware. It's the technically having the cameras in the headset, the IR cameras that are able to track your eyes. I think they've had that for a long time. The foveated rendering is just an application of that hardware. And we need to keep in mind that there are many applications for eye tracking beyond foveated rendering. And I think that some of this stuff's a lot easier to do. I think user interaction, being able to, run through the settings menu by looking at things with your eyes instead of pointing at them with your hand. I think stuff like that's a little easier to do. So I think that they could probably ship, and they've probably for a long time been able to ship a product that has some very basic eye tracking functionality in it. It's just these more difficult applications of the tech, this cutting edge stuff like foveated rendering, they may have needed to outsource. Again, this is all just speculation, but I'd be like completely floored if they couldn't get some baseline functionality out of eye tracking right now. And this is, it's a new tech to us today, but in a year, this is going to be on everything. It's going to be on the Facebook headsets. It's going to be on every new headset. We're literally,
yeah. I saw
we're about to experience a seismic shift in VR hardware. It's about to change in a big way over the next 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, I saw it in action. I put the headset on. I did it at CES. I did it in the Xtal. The new Xtal headset has foveated rendering with eye tracking, and the only way that they did it, they wrote their own program. They did it themselves because there's just nobody else out there doing it. And to work with what they needed to work with, I interviewed the guy, the president of Xtal, to work with their systems in the way they wanted to do it. They had no choice but to go and do it themselves. Just like the lenses, they actually made their own lenses. They didn't go to a lens company to make lenses. They designed their own lenses for the headset because they just couldn't find somebody out there that would work with what they have. So this is all cutting edge stuff.
Absolutely. We're going to see cutting edge stuff in Cambria. We're going to see cutting edge stuff in the Apple headset, and we're going to especially see cutting edge stuff from Sony, because we need to recognize that while all these other companies are fairly narrow in the scope of products and services that they manufacture and deliver and sell, Sony is a worldwide conglomerate that makes everything when it comes to consumer electronics. They make screens, they make lenses for cameras, they make the cameras themselves. The Sony optical sensors in their cameras are the best in the world. They're always on the cutting edge of the tech is basically my point. So I think when they promise VR gamers a true generational leap in VR gaming technology, I believe what they say.
Yeah, me too. And we all think that the PlayStation VR 2 is going to be probably, way ahead of anything that we've got in our hands right now. So I just hope we see it soon. I hope we see it before it's not the cutting edge technology that,
That's the rumor, right?
I hope we don't see this thing in 2020, in second quarter 2023, after we've already seen the Cambria and we've seen maybe what Apple has, or, who the hell knows, man. Valve might be working, if you listen to Bradley, Valve's got something going too. So who knows?
Did you see that Brad's video today?
I didn't see it, but I saw the title.
What was it? I missed it.
He basically, it was him sharing with us some footage from a CES demo from 2016 of a standalone. Get this, from 2016. This was being shown off at trade shows along with the original Vive and the Rift CV1. They also had a working standalone headset that ran PCVR games that had complete color pass-through with AR functionality. And it all worked. I mean, it was a pretty big, sizable thing, but it worked. It was from a third-party upstart, which apparently got bought out immediately after they demoed it. It got secretly picked up by a larger company, and no one knows who picked them up. Valve, probably Valve.
Probably Valve, yeah.
But they were running PCVR. What really struck me as amazing about it, though, is they did this demo. They showed this supposedly real time demonstration, not concept footage, but actual footage of a demo software that they had made for it, and it basically had used the pass through to map the whole room, right? And it overlaid like AR imagery so that like imagine you're sitting in your room looking at it through your VR headset, and then this big beanstalk shoots up through the floor and busts through the ceiling. So now you can look out. You're in your actual room still, but you're looking through the ceiling, this beanstalk going up into the clouds, and then this giant reaches down into your room and picks you up from the AR mixed reality scene and pulls you up into a full virtual reality world, right? So now you're in the clouds. And then at the end of the demonstration, it sets you back down in your room where you began. It was amazing, and it got me really excited for the prospects of AR and mixed reality, more than anything else I've ever seen. It was really something. If it truly was a demo from 5 years ago, we stand to have a few good years ahead of us, to say the least.
They're gonna kill some people, Wes, because this is the thing. You're gonna get your wish with these horror games, and that it's gonna come into your fucking room, and some people are gonna freak out. You know what I mean? Because like, especially if you're seeing your room as you always see it day in, day out, and then something changes.
Yeah.
I think for some people, the small percentage of people that are already mentally out there, it's gonna be the tipping point to like shove them over the edge. That's crazy, dude. I can only imagine.
But here's the thing. This is a 2016 headset. It was running it wasn't running a mobile chipset in it. It had a custom made AMD x86 chip in it. It had the AMD, like the top AMD graphics technology of the time.
It melted your face.
But it was running like on 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, which I thought was funny. When you think about just how much more powerful compute power is and memory, how much faster memory is today. If they were able to do that back then on those low specs, it would have to be 100-fold better today.
Yeah.
It makes you think. They always have overheating issues now. Like, how did this thing not melt your face off back then? Because you're putting
it had some pretty significant cooling system in it, right?
Hell yeah.
Tech says he can't wait. I can't wait either. I think it'll be exciting. I think just
Tech can wait. He doesn't buy anything, man.
Oh, that's true. He doesn't buy anything. He's bought a Surface Pro so that he can not have his mic issues fixed.
I forgot about that. I was testing my camera out in Discord yesterday, and because I was having blurry issues that Ruuts fixed in Discord for Strangers of the Night, and he jumped in. He messaged me and said, "Can you bring me on air because I want to test something?" And guess what? I could actually hear him. So like he wasn't talking out of his butthole.
That's always good.
Yeah, it's always good when you don't sound like you're talking out of your butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. He did say that. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I can remember not too long ago, I was hopeful we were going to see this thing this spring. Now I'm fearful.
What do you think about that rumor?
Until next spring.
What do you think about that rumor or that rumor?
Tell everybody about that rumor that you put in Discord today, Ruuts. That was crazy, man.
Yeah. So essentially somebody posted in your group, Mash. Where did I put that in the news, right?
It was in the
it was VR related news, yeah. Somebody's posted I guess it's Gaming Leaks and Rumors. Metal Gear Solid 1998 remake is true and releasing as a PSVR 2 launch title. And they went in, I mean, the details that they put in there. I mean, and granted, this is a rumor. I'm not saying this is true, but the details that they put in there, I wish I could put it in your screener so you could pull it up on the thing. It's super cool, right? And they say, according to this, if it's true, that we should know not only they should be announcing this Metal Gear game in Q2, but alongside with PlayStation VR 2, and will be out in Q4.
Holy crap,
which is at the end of the year. So
the first hybrid game they're saying this is. So what this is, and again, this is a complete rumor. It originated on Reddit by a guy who claims to have a friend who's very close to the situation. Obviously, it could be a complete hoax, and he acknowledges that up front. Like, this is a burner account. He can't reveal who he is, or else it could possibly get his friend caught. But basically, there's been a rumor going around that Metal Gear Solid, the original Metal Gear Solid, is being remade, and that it's being remade for VR. Basically, this rumor, he says, is absolutely true, and it's been in development for years as the first, PSVR 2 launch title. They say that this is going to be the first hybrid game, that the game will be fully playable flat as well as in VR, but it's going to seem like a built from the ground up VR game. They say that the game's design revolves heavily, almost like insane amount of attention that they're paying to the advanced haptics and adaptive triggers. This whole game is basically being designed around those features, and that the game will be revealed in Q2 this year, along with the headset to be released at the end of the year during the holiday season.
Holy crap!
So, yeah,
It almost
it's a
seems too
lot
good to be true, right?
well, that's what Onakazu was saying. The description read like a MGS fanboy's wet dream.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, I mean, it does. It looks amazing. I remember playing Metal Gear back in the day, and it was really cool. And it was so, looking back, it was cheesy as hell because it was what, Nintendo version, or I don't know back. But it was such a cool game. So I think it'd be cool to play in VR.
Yeah.
What was the cool thing about it is, even if this rumor turns out not to be true, the cool thing is we all know that when PlayStation VR 2 does come, there's going to be a game like this with it. Just whether or not it's Metal Gear or not. I mean that might be a big disappointment for some people, but we're going to get this big AAA game that's playable flat as well as in VR, that revolves heavily and is designed around the features and functionality of the new headset and the new controllers. Those games are coming, and that's the good news. Like, so this rumor that seems like, MGS fans' wet dream, as he liked to put it. I mean, it's very plausible when you think about it like that. We already know these games are coming. Why couldn't it be a Metal Gear game?
Yeah, we won't have to wait that long either. A couple months. We're already entering. I guess when does Q2 ends in March? No, I mean Q1.
May. Well, I mean,
May.
Q2 would end in June. Third week of June is the end of it.
Well,
GDC is in March.
I'll be there.
Yep.
I'm going.
They typically don't unveil stuff like this at GDC. I think a safer bet would probably be around the E3 season. They typically do this Days of Play event. Sony does in like late May, early June. I think that's the most likely time frame. But that we could see the headset at GDC. I mean, it is the game developers conference, right? And they're going to want to rally people to develop for their new hardware. So it is possible that we could see this at GDC, and that would be amazing, Eric, if they did, right?
You guys right?
Holy crap, dude. Yeah, no. Why would I? I'm going to try Garden of the Sea.
Yeah. What if that's the only game
I'm
they
going to
have?
play Forbidden Recipes, Forbidden Journey, or whatever.
Lost Recipes. It's going to be the PSVR 2 launch title, Lost Recipes.
It would sell millions of copies, man. It probably would. But well, yeah, I mean, it's exciting stuff, man.
You could feel the bowl in your hand as you stir.
Oh, who doesn't want to feel the bowl?
You know who else loves to feel the bowl? I don't even know what that means, but she loves it.
Who the hell knows what that means?
Yeah, I guess maybe it's toilet humor.
Chinatown D says Destiny 3 PSVR 2 launch title. Certainly could be, right?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be huge.
Not a launch title, but it's almost like I would consider it like likely that we see Destiny VR within the next 3 years.
Yeah. The question is, will they put it in first person, or they will try to do it in third person?
a lot of this question with a lot of these games.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. I just want my Returnal. Just give me my Returnal VR and leave me alone forever.
I know, right? That's what I was gonna say. There's that rumor's been out there too. Returnal and VR. So what do they do?
It's going to be my last episode of Virtual Strangers. Is like Returnal VR is out, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody.
It's been nice knowing you. Hit me up on Discord. I'll tell you if it's any good if I ever come out of the game ever again.
Yeah, right.
You have to get that VR one where you can lay down.
Oh yeah. Then you can play Chicken of the Sea and fall asleep in VR.
Yeah. Chicken of the Sea, man. You got all sorts of names for it, man. Garden of the Sea, bro.
Garden of the Sea. That's it.
Anyways, gentlemen, I hate to break up the good time, but it is that time for me to part ways with you fine guys. Thanks for having me on, Eric. And by the way, I'm down. I'm down every Thursday. If you need me, just hit me up and let me know.
That's awesome, man. You're the best. I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. This it makes it so much better. I mean, we talk like this all the time, guys. We really do. I mean, we could just sit there and bullshit VR all day long. So it makes it pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Anytime.
Have a good night at work, man. Well, we'll see you tomorrow.
Have fun.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, viewers. Goodbye, Ruuts. See you all next time.
Stay easy.
Later.
So Radio Runt just slid in here, and it's funny because as soon as Radio Runt, the first comment Radio Runt said was like, "Well, I gotta go." He's like, fuck this. I'm not being here with this guy. Oh wait, he had to get to work.
He's like, "Yeah, Radio Runt's here. I'm outie."
Yeah.
Oh, too funny. That was so good, man. I love Wes. Wes is just so smart with a lot of these, like, the intricacies of like the dealings with these companies and a lot of the specs and stuff like that. He's so good. He's so much better than me at this stuff. He's, I could listen to him talk about this stuff all day long. So
yeah,
that was
absolutely
awesome.
Me too.
So we're going to jump right to another guest, guys. So we have a special guest. We have somebody who's going to join us that was supposed to join us last week, but surprise, I screwed up and had the dates wrong.
Man,
that never happens, bro. Right?
No,
dude, it's so much. I got so much in my head. It's crazy. I can't figure this stuff out. But we're gonna bring in somebody who has been on the show before in a little bit different capacity. Let's welcome her back. Let's say hello to Ashley.
Hi.
What's going on, Ashley?
Hi, everyone. Hi, chat. Hi, Q2C. How is everyone today? Yes, I'm so sorry about last week. I added it into my calendar and I was so excited and I screenshot it just so that I could prove that it wasn't my fault. But yes,
that was totally my fault. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. So happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me back. I had such a great time last time, so really appreciate it. Always a blast.
Yeah, definitely. It was so good last time. Ashley, this is Ruuts from Virtual Strangers. This is Ashley Riott.
Hello. So nice to meet you, Ruuts. Thank you for having me.
Nice to meet you.
So anybody who doesn't know or missed the last time Ashley was here, Ashley was she was with Cloudhead Games with Vista Whip, and you were the community manager there and did such an amazing job for them. I think that you were the reason why that game really got the exposure that it deserved.
It's an amazing game. Definitely not all me. It is that I appreciate that so much, but it is such an amazing game. It's an amazing team, and I was so blessed to be able to work on the project and work with that community. And it was a blast. I worked on it for pretty much the majority of its lifetime in the public. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yes.
No, that's awesome.
It's such an incredible community. So
no, we want to hear from you. We don't want to hear from me. I can talk forever. So, but yeah, I mean, that had to be an extremely exciting time for you to get in there and to be in on the ground floor of an amazing game like this, the Whip that we all love, and was such a good thing. And basically you were even just a huge part of the Smoke and Thunder. I know you were very, very deeply involved.
I've got
with
it
that.
up on my wall back there. That's a sign.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That's signed by Fico, who did the art. Who's incredible. He's an incredible artist. He does a bunch of stuff for DC and does Spider-Man and all sorts of cool stuff. So yes, cool. Smoke and Thunder is very close to my heart.
Yeah, it's such a good part of that game. It really made a lot of the game for me with Smoke and Thunder. But yeah, that must have been really exciting for you to be part of that. And now you have decided to move on and do something not different, but bigger, right?
Bigger, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's bigger. I hate to be quantitative, but it's funny because I worked at Audio Trip before I went to Pistol Whip and Cloudhead Games, and they are published by Andromeda, which is a publisher, and it's a really small studio. It's Kinematic Studios, which is a duo of two developers who fell in love, and they both kind of left their respective jobs. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but
that's so cool.
Very cool story. So I worked there, and then I worked at Cloudhead for 18 months, and then I went back to Andromeda, which is the publisher. And so now I'm the senior director of marketing for Andromeda. And so I'm doing that with Audio Trip, but we've also got a couple of other IPs. We've got an IP that's called Sound Self, that's more therapeutic. It's more aimed at enterprise, like therapist office and meditation. It's a flow state app. It's very cool. You can play it on Steam. It is available on Steam. But you probably haven't heard about it because we don't market it as much to like commercial / at-home VR users. And then we have another game that we're working on that I can't tell you about quite yet, but once I'm able to share a little bit more, because it's in the very, very early stages, I'll share some details and maybe y'all can like hop in and test it out and like give us some feedback and be a part of that.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of like babies now that I'm kind of overseeing, and then we're hoping to take on a fourth IP this year, and so that'll kind of be my thing. I'll be taking pitches and looking at titles and looking for like our next transformative thing to put some funding behind and get out into the world.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. I love this team. It's a really, really cool opportunity, and so I'm super excited for what I'm gonna be doing for like the next year or so.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big swing from you from like being like with Cloudhead where you're I know, right? Sweet ears. They are sweet ears. And somebody else said too, Michelle B said, Smoke and Thunder, you're my hero. If you did the Smoke and Thunder, you're my hero.
Oh, I didn't do the smoke, but I did a lot of I helped a lot with the writing. One of the favorite lines that I wrote was stings, doesn't it? That I'd rather steer the train than be tied to the tracks. That was one of my lines that I wrote. It was one of my favorite lines.
That's like one of the best parts. That's like the reveal, right? That's the big,
the big
conversation
it's
between
like,
the sisters. Yeah.
It's such a, I don't want to be that damsel in distress, and so I thought that was a really cool line. But I really, really enjoyed it. The team behind, let's see, who probably would have done the smoke? Maybe Sarah Rowland. She does a lot of the art and animation and stuff. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this stuff anymore, but they're a really great team, and it was amazing to work on on the project. And I still talk to Sarah. She's so great. They're still really good friends of mine. I was actually just talking to one of the backend engineers today about video games and his daughter. So they're really close friends of mine.
Yeah. That's like I said when I was saying before too. This is just like, it's got to be a big swing from you going from Cloudhead, who's basically focused on one game that I know about. Maybe there's focused on more, but it's primarily they're focused on Pistol Whip because that's their baby, right? Now you're going to be in a publishing company where you're going to be focused on many, many different things, and you can actually touch a lot of different projects. So it's got to be, I'm sure it's equally as rewarding, but when you can touch different things and bring in smaller IPs and work with them and kind of bring them along, that's got to be extremely rewarding for you.
It's so awesome, and especially I have a really special place in my heart for like indies and indie studios because Audio Trip was a really special experience for me. I was with them when they were like launching, and it was a really scary time in the development life of the product. Like I said, they're a duo that they fell in love. She was an architect. She was a professional architect, and she created real spaces, in the real world for people to gather. And he actually was a VR developer. He worked at Alchemy way back in the day, and he left this very prominent studio at the time, one of the first that was doing VR stuff. And she left her job, which was very secure. And they said, we're going to make this game. We're going to create this. She's also a professional dancer. And so she creates all the environments with her experience, creating environments. Oh, thank you. And I appreciate that. She creates all the environments and she does all the choreography. It's a dance game. And then he programs the game. He makes the game, and it's the two of them. And there was some period in time when it was like very scary and we had a very short runway. And, we were having like dinners together, and we were having like really, it felt like family, and so I have a really, really soft spot in my heart for indies, and, being able to help them and collaborate with them. And, during times of like you know, launches, or let's say somebody gets review bombed and, you know, they don't know what to do, just being able to consult and like collaborate and get through that together. Cause it's a really small world right now that we're building with the VR community. And so like, we are much more powerful together, working together, especially when it comes to like an indie lens. So I'm super excited about that. And hope I actually have some other really exciting stuff like in the pipeline that I can hopefully share with you soon. That's not quite finalized. That because of that, being able to do a couple more things and not being as tied to like the one IP has kind of allowed me to do, including I'll be speaking at GDC this year. So I know one of you said, I think, who said they're going to be there?
Mash is going.
Yeah.
We're gonna hook up, and I'm gonna come watch you talk, man. I cannot wait.
Yes, I'm giving a talk. I'm very excited, and it's your job to find me because I'm very easy to spot. As Chad pointed out, and I usually am very glittery as well. So
you can find me. Just look for the oldest guy there, and that'll be me. Because everybody else will be 15 or 18 years old, and it'll be me.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be, and it's the first like in-person event in like 2 years. I feel like it's gonna be wild. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited to go to it too, just to meet a lot of the developers that I've talked to over, you know, the last few years, and just to be able to see them and talk to them face to face, and to see you face to face and hang out with you and chat with you. It's gonna be fun. You have a lot of things planned too that you know, we can probably talk about more leading up to it, but you know, it's cool what you have, what you're thinking about doing and trying to do, and get a lot of people together. And you know, like you said, the VR community is still small. So if we can kind of work together and we can all get together and talk about some things and brainstorm and kind of bring some things together, and it looks like you're trying to facilitate that, which is really great.
Yeah, always. And, you know, it's always been a high priority. It's really important to me that people feel like they belong, you know, and authentically feel that way. I think and I think it's really important that we build spaces in VR with that lens, you know, like it's our responsibility. And I think that I'm going to start getting all serious and gushy, but I feel like we should take that responsibility seriously, because VR is such a transformative and transcendent medium. You know, you are sharing spaces with people when you're playing Walkabout with them. You know, my father is in Houston and he has ALS and he's quite sick. And for Christmas, I hooked him up with a full kit so that we could all play Walkabout together. You know, that's one of the things he can do. And so we're all able to like be in the same space, and I'm quite far from him. And so just stuff like that, I think is really important to think about. And just, it's really important to think about how we even engage in our business with one another and with other people that are in this space, and just sharing as much as we possibly can so that we can make the medium the best it can be for the people that are coming after us. So
yeah, I know early on for me, I mean, you know, I've been into VR for a long time, but just recently, you know, stepped out, you know, behind the camera a little bit, and leading up to that, one of my biggest inspirations was Ruuts, because he is probably one of the biggest ambassadors of VR that I know, because he is constantly, you know, he sees a lot of people in his day-to-day job, and he is constantly talking to people about virtual reality, and he's like an ambassador for virtual reality, trying to get as many people to try it out as possible. Right, Ruuts?
Yeah. Well, it's crazy too. It surprised me, because I do talk for like the last 4 or 5 years. I've been talking to people about it. And I'll just bring it up randomly, like, and just start talking to somebody that's 82 years old. And most people, well, it used to be the case, they would look at me with this blank look, and then I'd have to explain what it was and tell them how cool it was. But now I'm running into people where this one lady just a couple weeks ago, she was probably in her early 50s, and I asked her, and she pointed to her headset. She started talking to me about Supernatural. She had lost 10 pounds. Her kids had been playing it. And so she kind of tried something, I think Beat Saber, which is Mash's favorite. And then so she found Supernatural, and now she's hooked. She's trying to get her husband into it. So I'm starting to see it become more mainstream, just to average people. It's crazy, right? It's cool. It's super cool.
It's really, because same thing for me, right? Like I have a complex from the pre-Quest years when it was less mainstream, and I'm like insecure now when I talk about VR, because I don't stop. Like I just will go forever, and I get so excited, and I really believe it's like the computing, you know, medium of the future. And I'm just like, what games have you played? Have you played this? What do you like? You know, and then I'm like, actually, you have to stop it, because back in the day, nobody knew, you know, or people's first experience was like Google Cardboard, and you had to break down so many barriers. And now it's like, I see people playing with their families that I would have never expected. Or when I was buying the Quest for my dad when I was in Houston, I had to keep going back to the store because I kept needing things. Like then I decided I wanted to get the Pro strap, and then I decided that I wanted to get the charging station, and then he needed the Chromecast, right? Because I wanted him to be able to stream it to his TV. I'm a very good daughter. But every time I would go, they'd be like, "Oh, how do you download apps for this?" I always get asked where to get the games. You know, people would, but they all knew what it was, and they all knew that it was virtual reality, and that was so cool. And then, you know, of course, I'm training the Target employees and the Best Buy employees. I've got the headset out and I'm showing them how to hard reset, and I'm showing them how to download the app. I've got my phone out because I can't help myself, right? Because we need, you know, you have to tell everybody that'll listen to you about how great it is. But yeah, I'm super insecure about it because it used to be so niche and now it's kind of everywhere.
It was a nightmare. And I mean, sometimes I still run into it. And you got people, my go-to thing used to be, no, that's not what VR really is. That was like the first iteration, you know, because they would say, I've tried VR and it was not that good. And I was like, well, did they have a phone? Oh yeah, I had the phone. And then I would have to explain to them that's not VR anymore. And then and one of the biggest things that I tell people, like, that blew me away about the Quest 2 was the first time I put it on, I turned on the YouTube app, and just the clarity of just a commercial. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't, like, because I always put myself in the mass consumer in their mindset, and I said, this is going to blow people away when they watch their Netflix. It finally is at the point where the video looks good enough to where people are going to want to watch their shows in there, and that's a huge thing, especially right now. So
I'm still blown away. I love pass through. I think I love my Quest, right? Like I have an index. I do a lot of my my extended hours of gaming because I don't really plug my Quest in. But I'm kind of a degenerate, and I'll play VR for like 6 hours at a time sometimes.
Oh,
right?
I love that.
And sometimes I sleep in it. So I do have an index. I do have an index, but I mean, I love my Quest, and I use it all the time, and I love the pass through. I love that I can just move it from room to room. I take it with me whenever I travel, right? Because I mean, it's VR that fits in a shoebox, right? And so I think that it is such a outstanding piece of tech. See, this is what happens, and this happens no matter where I am and who I'm talking to. And I feel insecure, but I know that I'm with my people right now, and y'all understand this.
Oh yeah.
But it's VR in a shoebox, and I can have it on the plane, and the plane's just, the ride's done. You know, I watch a movie and it's over.
Or your hotel room, you get to a hotel room, and this is the thing, you know, you spend enough time in VR, it starts to feel like home. And so, like, you could be sitting there, I'm sure, playing, like, Mash was a week or two ago. He's playing Zenith with us, and you're forgetting that you're in a hotel room. You're with your friends. You might have taken it off and said, "Oh shit, I'm not at home. I forgot I was in this room."
What do you think about Zenith? Do you love it? Do you like it?
I'm enjoying it.
Oh my God, it's so great.
It's one of the best places I've ever been that I could, like, actually, what you were just talking about with hanging out with your dad, just hanging out with somebody in a different state that you can't hang out with in person, but it feels like you're there with them in person. And it's different. It's super cool. I mean, and then of course you got I'm an MMO person anyway. I played World of Warcraft for 10 years. So
same. Yeah, I did as well.
Yeah.
Forever. I have like a PhD in Holy Priest is what I said, because I played that Shiza for 10 years.
That's awesome.
I was more of a druid healer, but I'll tell you what, I did have a holy priest, and I had a shaman as well.
I have no idea.
I had to play disc if I was, because I did a lot of in-game rating. Some of the people I rated with are in this chat right now. So sometimes I had to play disc.
Well, see, that's what I was telling Mash, and people, and you would appreciate this more, like in Zenith, and granted, it's the first really good one, but one of my first trepidations was, is it going to have the end game content? Because, you know, I hear when you say discipline, I know exactly what you're talking about, because you need the bubbles, yeah, exactly. you need that extra bubble heal. But that's what I loved about World of Warcraft, is like you had so many people having to work together in perfect harmony. These bosses were fantastic, you know, the mechanics and getting in there with the guild and trying to figure out a boss and how to get around it, and 3 days a week, and finally beating that boss, and there was nothing
I
like
talk about
it.
that all the time. I say that I learned, one of the first places I learned community management was World of Warcraft. I was healing lead, and I ran a team of healers, and I did that forever, and I did it in a high-end rated guild, and that was the first place that I learned, because with WoW and with any sort of like video game, people are there volunteering, right? Like they're not getting paid, and you have to understand why they're there and like make sure that you're meeting their needs and like make sure that it's fun for them. And I really think that I learned a lot about like community management from raiding in World of Warcraft.
You and Ruuts are best friends now.
Well,
You and Ruuts are best friends because he was a healer forever, right?
Yeah, that's all I ever want to do. Like in Zenith, I'm like, is there a healer? Because I think there's nothing cooler than keeping people alive. You know what I mean?
Like this is a World of Warcraft stream now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, it's video games. We're good.
Well, and this is the thing. We were even just talking about this recently. Eventually Blizzard and other companies are going to want to bring it into VR. And then can you imagine World of Warcraft in VR? I don't know that I'm ever going to want to leave. That's my game that I would get sucked into forever.
Yeah. Oh man. And like that's kind of the thing with Zenith, right? Is it's like I played Orbis and I love Orbis. I love the team behind Orbis. I think Orbis is great, but it's the same thing. It's like this is the beginning of this arguably like one of the largest scope genres in game dev in general, flat or VR, you know what I mean? Like massive online like role-playing games with other people it's so hard to do, and then doing it in a completely new medium with completely new technical like requirements, and nothing is the same across the platform, so like they are solving challenges that nobody has solved before, and I'm really proud of how they're doing it. Like it's just so cool for me to see any game like seeing that amount of success in VR, right? Like just they literally were like top selling on Steam of all games the first weekend that they launched.
Yeah.
And that includes,
VR,
and Dying Light was like top of the charts that week, right? So like to beat that out over the weekend was like wild.
So yeah, I'm super, really good, by the way. It's really good.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah, Mash is not you. Are you being sarcastic? Because you didn't really seem like you liked it that
much.
Me?
I loved it. Dying Light 2 was awesome, man. No,
because you were running into issues at first.
Well, yeah. Anytime you get into issues, it hurts you. Like, remember when you like even with Zenith, Ruuts hated Zenith the first couple of days because he had such.
I played on.
He couldn't get in, and
Untethered, and they had some crazy server issues. But I was also playing Untethered on my Quest, and I had some lag issues, and I got a headache, and then my Quest died. But again, that was all me, right? Like I should have been playing plugged in, and of course, I played for like 3 hours on accident. I was like, I'll get in and try it for an hour. And then 3 hours I played till my headset died because I have no self-control. But it's so great. And I see like this path, right? Of like, here's where it could be. And I think that they see that too, which is really exciting. And I think they're like actively working, to add everything that everybody wants to see.
Well, and anytime a game like this succeeds from an independent developer, I mean, it gets the eyes of the big boys. Like I guarantee, well, maybe Blizzard hasn't noticed, but at some point, it's going to become profitable enough to where they're going to start thinking about, if they haven't already, bringing it in. And it's going to happen. There's going to be, an MMO RPG that's going to be huge, and it's probably going to be World of Warcraft or maybe even Final Fantasy.
Oh, if Yoshi P would notice us. I also play Final Fantasy 14. I have a whole decorating house service in Final Fantasy 14. It's a problem.
What do you? I play Final Fantasy.
Yeah, no, I don't sleep. I play The Sims in Final Fantasy 14, as everybody says. So I love MMOs. I used to play Guild Wars. If an MMO comes out, I have played it, except Lost Ark. I have not played Lost Ark. I refuse.
I heard that's really good.
I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I refuse to do it. All of my friends are playing it. And
D-Rail's playing it. It comes out tomorrow free. Don't even have to pay.
Yeah, I know. Well, the pre-orders are out, right? So everybody's playing it, and it's free. But there's a lot of premium stuff. But
what's the other one too? Is Elden Ring?
Elden Ring. Elden Ring.
MMO, right?
That I probably will play, just because.
I didn't play New World.
Ruuts is getting it. So that means I'm probably getting it too.
New World. Yeah, that's true. New World. Mash. What do you think about New World?
I just didn't. It was just too grindy for me. I don't want to grind for the sake of grinding.
Imagine World of Warcraft where you can do everything. There is no special classes, no special potion masters or anything. Like anybody can do anything. I felt like it was kind of like bastardized it all. Like there was no, at some point it was different, and they were trying to think outside the box, but it was going to create problems down the road because you need to have specialization so that it kind of balances everything. So
I mean, there was literally guys in there.
Trinity.
there was guys in there going in there and like chopping wood for 4 hours so they could level up their wood skill, or they were picking, using a pickaxe on picking, stones.
But that would have been me. See, that's the thing is like when I do a thing, I don't know how to like half do it. That's why when I play Final Fantasy, I do house decorating and I don't raid, because I can control it. I can just log in and do a little bit at a time. But yeah, I can't do an MMO. I can't start an MMO, but I do play a lot of other games. Like I'm playing Grounded right now. I just tried Unrailed. I try and play games like very scientifically and like work through them and finish them.
Oh my God,
one of the best games I played last year was with MASH. It Takes Two. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but
oh my God, it's so good. That was close to my game of the year last year.
That was the best game best cooperative game I've ever played.
And I've never had more fun or laughed harder playing the game with somebody.
Oh my God. At every level, I was so dumbfounded at the amount of like technical programming that went in. There were like brief entire levels that like somebody had to code an entire underwater thing so that you could be underwater for like 10 minutes of gameplay. And I'm just, and it was like that for every single level.
Changed. That was what was
completely
cool.
New
Like
game.
every time you got to a new level, it was a completely different thing. And you're like, okay, what am I going to have? And I just love the fact of having to rely on each other,
Oh, it was so good. It was so beautifully and brilliantly done. Like I don't think there was a level that I didn't like, right? Where I was like, oh, this isn't fun. And they didn't recycle anything, right? And it was phenomenal, but it didn't take my game of the year. It's between, I actually had never finished it. It was between Outer Wilds, which if you didn't play Outer Wilds,
heard really, really good.
Phenomenal game. But not multiplayer. And then What's the story? I always want to say What's Been Eating Edith Finch, but that's wrong. But because of What's Been Eating Gilbert Grape. But it's the Truth of Edith Finch or something like that. That was also a magnificent game. So those were my 3 favorite games that I played.
Two Eternals
that were non-VR. That were non-VR.
Eternal is right up there in the top for me.
Eternal was so good.
Yeah,
that was a blast.
There were so many good games that came out last year. Honestly, Inscription was so good. And
what do you think about the thought? And I kind of have a feeling I know how you feel about it, but like this weird thing, and you see it in Mash's group all the time. And they're like, I feel so sorry for flat gamers, VR people. They're like kind of snobbish, and they've cut it off, and they've said, I'm not playing any flat games because VR is the shit. And to me, it's VR overall, mostly the depth isn't there yet. Like in these games.
I mean, I'm talking just like my non-VR games, because like I play every VR game that comes out ever, right? Like I play everything. I only play flat games like that are like nominated for stuff or that come super highly recommended.
Yeah, really, really good. But
I love flat games, man. I love games. I have been playing. I love video games so much. I'm like, it's literally all I do, all I talk about. I have to join like professional gaming groups to make friends because I cannot make normal friends because that's all I do. But yeah, no, I play everything. But if I had to pick, I'd go with VR, even with the content that's available now, just because like there's nothing. Every time I put on my headset, I'm just like, holy, this is amazing, right? Every time I play Audio Trip, I'm like, this game is so much fun, right? Like every time I play Pistol Whip, I'm like, this game is so much fun, and you feel so good after you play, and the social connection is just so phenomenal. And I think that there's definitely room, right? Like there's definitely not the AAA type of what we're used to as far as depth in VR. And I think it becomes especially striking when you play like Half-Life or Doom, and you play like
or
these
Hitman
really, like
3 even.
Yeah, and you're just like, man, I want more of this, right? But it's in a selfish way because it's like VR is so good to play. It's so immersive, and especially like I get very, very immersed in VR when I play, and like I have very high like phantom touch and stuff, and like I get very, very immersed. And so
what do you think about what Wes was saying before? That AR, we were talking about that headset from 2016, and he was saying like you'd be sitting there and this hand reaches through your ceiling and smashes through, and you're looking up through your own ceiling. It's AR VR mix, and it grabs you and pulls you up. Like I can only imagine the immersion that would do to me if that's how the game started.
That'd be
Like all of a
crazy.
sudden,
Especially,
you know what I mean?
I think I get really excited for the pass-through AR games where reality is part of the experience, and especially when because the 2016 did not have the resolution, I don't like that we're seeing today, where it's like almost indistinguishable from the headset and the stuff that you can impose. So exactly that. Imagine a T-Rex or something smashes through your wall and it's like right here with you, right? And it's in your room and it uses your everything to make that experience. Or imagine Paranormal Activity, except you're locked in your apartment, right? Or Silent Hill
Oh my
4,
God.
that one with the
Can you imagine?
chains, but
That's
that
what I was
happens
saying.
in your
This is going
house,
to
right?
cause some trauma for people because
It's
they're
gonna
not going
fuck
to
some people
Oh, I
up.
cannot wait. I love horror games. I love horror because I become incapacitated on the floor, and like nothing's better than that, right? Like that's the ultimate goal, is to like have those experiences and then be safe in your bed, right?
Yeah.
I want to feel something.
I think it would be cool if you were like sitting there, you started the game and you heard a crack, and you look up on the wall and it's
and
like
it's surround sound because you got the headset on, right?
yeah. And like so you see this hole appear and like you go through the hole in your own room and then you go into the world. I just think that there are possibilities.
That'd be so cool.
And then
That's what
you have haptics and you feel the rumble or
Get some
whatever
haptics
else.
involved. Yeah. That's what they're touting with the Lynx XR1, which is that's supposed to I actually kickstarted that. So hopefully that we'll see that maybe sometime late spring or early summer. But I mean what they're really talking about there, what you're talking about there is what they're touting with that headset. So I'm hopeful that we'll see.
Yeah, I've seen some wild pass through.
But yeah, hopefully we'll see something close,
I've seen some really wild pass through experiences that look just incredibly cool. And yeah, I immediately go to the horror.
Yeah,
the horror games.
Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, horror is one of those things where you can take a mediocre horror game flat and you put it into VR, and all of a sudden it becomes one of the scariest things you've ever played because of how immersed you are in the environment.
And Traveling Man has a really good point there. Gamification of like chores and having AR interact, and there's points on your bed, and if you make your bed you get those points, right? If you pick up your toys, everything you pick up off the floor as a point, right? That's sort of like, there's so many possibilities that I just think are so cool when you think about like the application. I think I love AR almost as much as I love VR. I think AR is so freaking cool.
I think the combination is what's going to be the crazy. Like when you can make everything just look the same as it normally, your room is reproduced, but things start happening in there, and you really are looking at your room. I don't know. I get excited.
Yeah,
kids are smarter than that. Yeah, they'd like it. You'd have to make it a good game. You'd have to really gamify it. It'd have to be fun, and it would need a little more design than that tiny thing. But you see like the recipes or like the AR where you've got like all of your timers up if you're cooking, and you can put the pots and all of the temperatures and when something is going to be boiling and needs to be taken off of one burner, or when something needs to be taken out of the stove, and you can move it all around. And just those types of applications are so cool.
It could be tied to their game time.
Even
the more
that,
do, unlocks free time, right? That's their tokens.
Teaching applications,
Felipe,
so much success.
Felipe said, I mean, think about where we're going to be in 5 years with all this stuff. I mean, it's so crazy that I'm just so humbled that I got into this. We're all early adopters. Like I was talking to Dee the other day, and she's like, I don't know as much about VR as you guys. I'm just getting in. I'm like, Dee, we're all just getting in. I mean, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I still don't know. We're still early. You know what I mean? If you get in today, you're still an early adopter. You know what I mean?
I feel the same way putting that headset on as I see the people that are putting it on for the first time. I'm like, yes, welcome.
Yeah.
Like, come join us. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's like they're, it's the same. It's been the same thing. And you see people join the tribe, and then they can't stop talking about it, and they start doing stuff like this. They start doing podcasts, and I mean, that's how I started. I couldn't stop streaming. I started streaming VR and going to conventions and taking headsets there and setting up my Vive. My Vive got stuck in an airport twice in the like X-ray machines, because I used to take all the cords out at airports because I used to take them with me to events. And just I couldn't stop telling people about VR, and that's what happens when people put on the headset for the first time today, right? And it's just like, it's a very exciting time. We're right on the cusp of, I think, but I've been saying this for years. We're right on the cusp of, I think, a huge change, a huge shift, and I think we're actually really starting to see that, and it's super exciting, especially if you're here with us today.
Yeah.
Some people are saying VR or the headsets are going to replace TVs soon. Obviously when they get a little bit lighter, but this TV's very, very closely going to disappear, right?
Yeah, I mean, I see a future of glasses where it's just like you're on your couch and you're doing those types of experiences where they're the mixed, like you're talking about solo, and then somebody sends you a message and you get that ping and then you go into VR with them, and I mean, that's quite a ways away, but that's the stuff I think about at night before I go to sleep. It's stuff I daydream about, because that's what I think is going to happen one day.
Yeah. I make fun of the Vive Flow. I have a Vive Flow, and I make fun of it the whole time because it's like the biggest paperweight I've ever used, but I still have it. I'm still waiting for them to do stuff with it, but it's a good concept of where I think you're going to see it go, because if I do want to go in and consume some media in that headset, it's basically glasses. If I do want to go in and consume media, I can very easily. It's the biggest problem with that thing is there's no controllers and you have to use your phone, and it's just clumsy. So I think eventually, they have a good concept that just was not realized. So, and that's HTC.
Vive.
That's HTC, baby.
That's HTC
And
right
it's again, they're right at the forefront, solving problems that nobody has solved and creating hardware that nobody has created before. And so, they're a great team as well. That's just like been doing this and have been fighting the good fight really since the dawn of VR. And so, I think they're in it for the long haul, and I think they'll be okay. My first real headset was my HTC Vive. It's right here next to right on my wall.
Yeah, look at that. That's cool.
Ironically, that was made by Valve or designed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Everything that HTC's tried to do on their own has not been as successful.
Has not been as great. I like their face tracker.
Well, and don't get me wrong,
that's pretty cool actually.
I did full body.
Yeah. And I'm wrong. Their Viveport Infinity is amazing. It's one of the best.
And the trackers. Their trackers have done some wild stuff for full body tracking.
Yes.
VR dancing, VR chat. I think the face tracker is really cool. I think it's really niche, right? Like it's hard to use and it's pretty new. But yeah, they do cool stuff, right? And some of it's a miss, but
yeah. Well, like I said, you said they are kind of on the cutting edge of stuff. It just seems like they bring it out and then somebody else does it better. That's the problem. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of times they'll come out with this stuff and say, "Hey, we got this proof of concept and we got a great idea," and then somebody is like, "Yeah, but I can do that way better."
And then I wonder, what are we gonna see from like Apple? Like, are they gonna join the game and just like blow everything out of the water and like completely shift the paradigm? And then same thing with PlayStation VR 2. It looked sick. All those specs that they announced just look incredible. So
plus they've got all the. I mean, that's when I believe the AAA is going to start coming into VR hard.
We've been waiting so long. That PSVR 1 came out 2016. Holy moly, crazy!
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, this is what happens when you put three people together that love talking about virtual reality.
We just
here with Ashley for like 40 minutes almost, and we have yet to say anything about Audio Trip, which is one of the biggest reasons I wanted to have you on. Was so. With Andromeda now, you guys are publishing or working with Chemotic. Is that how we say it?
Chemotic, yeah, Chemotic. So it's kind of like they are a studio that moves you, right? Yeah. So kind of like kinetic energy. So
I've never tried Audio Trip. I'll admit I never tried it. Yeah. So when you got in touch with me and said, hey, I'm doing this now, and here's a key for Audio Trip. I'm like, well, I need to try this. Ruuts, have you ever tried Audio Trip?
I think I did go into it. It's been a long time. If I did, it was like early when I went into VR.
It's been out for a long time, right? It's been out for.
So it's actually not full release yet. We're working on full release this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I'm going to be So they're in early access right now, but they're super active in the Discord. They love their community. Y'all should definitely join their Discord. It's http://audio.chat. They're just amazing devs, and they're very active, and they're building out full release right now. They kind of want to make it everything that everybody wants from the game. They've built it out a lot. There's a custom choreography tool, so you can like make your own levels and stuff and kind of map your own music. Yeah. So yeah, it's a really cool game. If you like dance games, right? If you don't like dance games, which is a fair criticism, right? Because it really makes you feel like you are dancing. Ashley Cooper. It's funny. Her name's Ashley. There's 3 Ashleys that work on this game.
That's crazy.
There's Ashley Riott, Ashley Fu, and Ashley Cooper is the lead choreography. she's a professional dancer, and so there's professional dance moves in it, and it really makes you move in a way that moves your body to these dance moves. And if you try and fight that, it's a lot more difficult. And so that is the main criticism that I hear from people is I don't really like to dance, and so I don't like the game. But I personally love it because I actually have a history in dance, and I think it's when I first played it, before I knew them, the reason that I got the job there was because I reached out to them. And I said, do you dance? Because this OST is the best OST I've ever played in a rhythm game ever. And I did not know them. And I said, it's just so good. You must be a dancer. And she said, thank you so much. Actually, yes, I'm a professional dancer. And that's, we started talking because of that. So if you ever reach out to your devs, tell them thank you.
Right.
They love to hear that stuff. Yeah. It changed your life too.
Exactly. Yeah. So I checked it out today before the show when I got home from work. So I've really recently gotten into a lot of fitness apps in virtual reality because you can't get to the gym anymore really, and I live in New York and everything's still kind of shut down here. So I've been trying to work out a lot, and Ruuts kind of got me hooked into Supernatural, and I've really been doing Supernatural quite a bit. And I just it's so good. And I just tried out the new body combat, the Les Mills body combat. So I did that.
How is that? I haven't gotten a chance to hop in that.
I almost died.
It kicked his ass.
Oh my god!
Nice.
Well, I did my 45-minute Supernatural before I went in to record for it, which was the dumbest thing I've ever done. Because I literally turned one game off and went into the other to do the workout. I was trying to talk through it. I'm already out of breath just from doing the Supernatural, and I started with this boxing thing, and I almost died twice. But
I mean, you're an entertainer at that point, right?
Exactly. I'm just trying to catch my breath here. I'm going through this 10-minute workout where I'm about to die. But I was definitely interested in getting into Audio Trip for some exercise too, because I'm trying to consume as much of these as possible, whether it be Synth Riders or Supernatural, or I don't consider Beat Saber a movement game. I think that's basically you could sit down and play Beat Saber because it's not that very good. So, but I just consider these games more movement games that get you up and get you moving. And the first thing that I thought with Audio Trip, number one, it does look a lot like Synth Riders. But number two, you dance
Synth Riders looks a lot like Audio Trip.
Technically because technically Audio Trip was in development first.
Oh, there you go.
But So, but Synth Riders did launch on Steam first, and so they're very close. But I love that people compare them because I think it's super accurate, and I think Synth Riders is a great freaking game. So I think it's a very similar experience to Synth Riders. They're both going to give you that kind of fitnessy like workout type of thing. It's a little more like dance focused, like I'm making you do more dance movements, and environment focused because they're kind of, she's the 3D kind of architect, and so she kind of does each individual thing around that. I don't know how, not that Synth Riders doesn't. I don't know how Synth Riders does their levels, and I love the team there. But yeah, I love that people compare it. They are very similar. They are very visually similar. They both have kind of rails that you follow. And then Audio Trip has drums, and different barriers and things like that. But yeah,
there was two things that stood out to me that were huge that I was like super impressed with. Number one, the UI in Audio Trip is the coolest UI I think I've almost ever seen. The way you interface the board that's in front of you. So you basically have this see-through board that's basically in front of you as you're standing in this huge arena. And the way you can touch and interact with everything, I mean, instead of like having a pointer where you click and you pull down like a scroll bar to see more stuff, you take your finger, you press in like a button, okay, and you feel feedback in your controller, and then you can slide your finger down. It's simple, but nobody does it. You know what I mean? Everybody does it with a pointer.
She's a really good, like, she's so artistic. She's like, her press kit and her brand marketing stuff is so good. I look up to her. I'm like, oh, I love how you do branding. I can't even compete, right? with her stuff because she's so good. But yeah, Audio Trip is, I think, super fun, and it is very good for fitness. It is a crazy workout. There's a cardio difficulty in Audio Trip, and it's not just faster. What it does is it focuses on like larger movements and actually making you squat up and down more, and actually like kind of making you do kind of a cardio workout rather than the quicker movements. And it's super effective.
Well, it's also good for muscle too. That's one of the things I love about Supernatural is just the movements are targeted at certain like your abs or whatever it is, and I'm sure it's the same for Audio Trip. Mr. Tass says there's much more dance in Audio Trip than Synth Riders.
Well, you know what I like too is they have like a ghost that's in front of you that actually you can watch this like ghost out form form of a person making these moves. So if you're just kind of like doing the basic movements, you can see maybe what you should be doing, which is kind of cool. So you
can actually follow it, and it will. You should match. What that is Ashley Cooper dances the whole routine, and she mocaps while she dances it, and so you can actually follow along with it. Not all of the songs are mocapped. That'll be part of full release. That's something that we're working on. But it's super cool. And you really, if you dance and you let yourself dance, it's so much easier, and you do so much better because it's a very heavy dance game, and there's routines built in. There's some like Middle Eastern heavy themed songs, and so there's some like dance routines that are mixed in with that, and there's like some street style that go in with the more street songs, and so you're actually learning dance moves through the routines and the choreography. They're all thought out. It's an actual choreography, and the custom choreography community is awesome. They're super helpful. They have tons of resources because you can, if you don't like the choreography, you can go in and it's an in-headset editor, so you dance basically, and you make your own choreography to the songs in game, or if there's songs that you legally own the rights to, you can put them into the game and do them yourself that way. And the custom choreography community is awesome at that, and they've got tons of stuff that you can check out.
So good, man.
And there's awesome songs in it. There, like the OST is like Just Dance and Bangerang, and there's Satisfactions in it. There's some really like Gangnam Style.
I love me some Skrillex.
Is in there. Yeah, it's like wild the music they get. It's a lot of work. Somebody sells their soul for those songs.
I did see it in there too. I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, freaking Bangerang.
What you were looking for?
Oh, that's a Borderlands mask.
You were looking for Lady Gaga?
There is Lady Gaga in there.
There's a Lady Gaga.
I saw that one too.
I would like a video of you playing Just Dance.
So
in your review.
I recorded it, and I hopefully have something up this weekend.
Amazing!
So it is recorded, and and because you know what? Because it forces you to dance. So I found myself, dancing. You have no choice, and I'm not a big dancer, but
that's what you
right? You follow Goldie, you are, bro. You're learning.
You really are.
I love you have a name for it too, Goldie. I love it.
That's her name, Goldie. Yeah, that's her. She's a gold avatar. And I think we still have an avatar, like if you're a streamer, that you can download in our kit. If not, I'll see if we can get one where you can import it into Live or whatever, and then that can be your avatar. As you can
how cool. That'd
avatar.
Be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Michelle B says she turns the ghost off, and Mr. Tass says that Goldie helps. So I guess I love options. I love options in VR.
It's interesting to see like what everybody uses. And I actually turned Goldie off too, because I'm colorblind and I have severe ADHD. So I do not need anything on the screen that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because it's too much mental load for me. So I also turned it off, which is totally fine, right?
Yeah.
Whatever works.
How do you know if you're doing the moves right though? Well, you're a dancer, I guess you probably are.
That's great about this game though, is all your dance moves are right? It's your own moves. So
that's true.
Yeah, and I was watching a streamer earlier who does a lot of Just Dance. They stream a lot of Just Dance, and they were doing it, and she was so much better than me, and she has like a quarter of my hours, and I'm just like, and you can really, because she's just a really good, she's a much better dancer than I am inherently, clearly. But yeah, I was watching her, I was like, oh my gosh, you're so much better than me, and you can really see that because it's very much a dance game at its core, and it really makes you feel like a dancer. And if you dance like nobody's watching you and pretend like nobody can see you, it's a much better experience.
I'm doing it. I'm going to be a professional dancer in 6 months.
We should split stream this, Ruuts. Split stream it. You doing it, and I'll do it.
I'll tell you what. That would be funny to watch.
That'd be amazing. You should do it on TikTok, a duet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I did call Mash my boo when we played It Takes Two. We actually played the No Way Out.
You need to play with somebody you care about. It's very important.
Absolutely.
And so it's such a great experience.
Hey, we got back together. We got back together in the end.
We did. Our daughter was all happy. It was a happy ending for everybody.
And I was like, I'm so glad they didn't force that either, right? Like they kind of left that up in the air, and like you didn't really know, because I was like, if that happens at the end of this, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
They
you
were
kinda
so well
figure-
done.
You kind of figure that it has to. Like, I mean, they redeveloped.
you
They found their love again.
Yeah,
You know what I
you
mean?
wanted that. You
The
could
Book
tell
of
them.
Love.
Yeah.
Oh,
They found their
yeah.
passion. Yeah.
That's
It
such
was
a
very
good-
good. I want one of them to help me
Yeah.
reignite my passion.
Did you play the No Way Out, the prison escape one?
I did. I played both
That
of
was
so
them.
cool.
good.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
played
we-
that together first, and that was one of the coolest moments in the game was when you came across those the Easter egg. And
Which
so
one?
we in It Takes Two, they had there was 2 statues.
Oh,
or
you
whatever,
mean yes.
the No Way Out statues, and we got to run over to our guys, and Mash tried to kill me, so I had a little bit of resentment from that.
You killed me at the end of
I
No
did
Way Out.
kill
Oh my
you.
god, I did too. I
You
felt so
killed
bad.
me.
I had to leave them too, and I was like, I'm so
You
sorry.
killed me, and then you went and talked to my wife.
I
my
consoled
wife
your
and my
wife.
kid.
I was
I
the betrayer. I completely understood how you feel. Ruuts. I had to. You had to. What are we gonna do? Both die?
What are you gonna
Let
do?
me go live my
Yeah.
life, brother. I will live
Yes.
my
Let me
life
go.
gloriously in your honor.
Yeah, right.
It's just
Making
such a-
time with my old lady.
And that's what's
I
so,
will. I'll
imagine
show her
a
the
game,
time of her life. You're not there. I'll take care of her.
imagine a
Right.
game like that where It Takes Two in VR, and that will be the next
Oh, I
level,
know.
right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I would love just like puzzle games, some sort of like portal puzzling, solving things together would just be so incredible. I think you'd get very sick with like a portal experience, but like something like that where you're solving
Yeah.
puzzles together, I think would just be so much fun. Even just like a yeah, exactly, something like that, or like a Talos principle type of thing. Some
Ooh,
sort
yeah.
of cooperative type of puzzling game would be super fun.
Yeah.
I'd also love like an RTS as well, like a good RTS. I think that
We get a couple. We don't have a lot.
Yeah,
We have a couple of good ones, but not a lot. We need more.
what's the other one? The Assault.
Final
one.
Assault.
Final Assault. I always want to call it Frontal Assault, and that's wrong.
Yeah.
Final Assault. That one's pretty decent. That's
Yep.
pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, there's a couple good ones, but again, you're right. There's not enough. There's just not enough for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
So Ashley, you were cool enough to hook all of our community up tonight with a couple of keys.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we've got, and it wasn't just me. I want to thank my
Yes,
friends
please.
at BoomBox VR and OhShape VR, as well as Audio Trip. They all put in some keys for y'all.
cool.
So cool.
So
man.
these are some rhythm games. So the deal is though that we also have a surprise that we can't really tell you too many details, but just make sure you wish list all of us on Steam and Oculus as well if you don't win a key. So that's BoomBox, OhShape, and Audio Trip. So we've got keys for all 3 games. They're all rhythm games. They're all going to get you moving. They're all going to get you fitnessy. BoomBox is a sweet rhythm game. You get like a cute little cat companion that you can like level up and do all sorts of stuff with. And then OhShape is like hole in the wall, that old school like Japanese game.
I like that.
Yeah.
But for
That's a cool
VR,
game.
it's
I
super
love that one.
fun. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
both great.
Another one gets you moving like crazy too, bending and
Yep.
moving. I mean, it's cool. Yeah.
And
I checked out BoomBox. I checked out BoomBox because you told me about it. I'm like, I don't know that one. I looked at it and it's pretty cool looking.
They're new. They're brand new. Vancouver studio as well.
Yeah.
Another indie studio. So
It was
Yeah,
AppLab,
there's
right?
some love.
I think I looked it up.
no,
and
I
it
think
wasn't it?
I think they're on Quest. I think, but I don't know, and I should have looked at it to be
I think
sure.
it's that. I'll just double check real quick, but I thought I looked it up and it showed as AppLab. Just so if people are looking for it, because
Yeah, 'cause I think
it's a Quest.
sometimes AppLab can be tricky.
While
So-
you're looking it up, that's what Tass was saying. He wanted to know if you had any links to put in the chat. So for the wish list.
Oh yeah, I can get you.
Yeah, BoomBox
being
it's an
lazy.
AppLab
If
game.
you're
It's
a-
$19.99 on AppLab. So when you type in,
Okay, cool.
type in all one word BoomBox, and then make sure you scroll down to the bottom, and it's going to say app. You have to hit that app button, and then that'll show you the game. So Ashley, are you saying that this is on Steam now too? Then
It should be. Yes, it must be. It has to.
because you were asking to wish list it, right? So
Yes, it has to be.
So yeah, everybody in chat, anybody watching afterwards, if you could help us all out here, and we're gonna have some people that are
I'll
gonna win
send
these
you
tonight. But if you don't, just go to Steam. You can just go to Steam and type in BoomBox under the
And I
store.
know this is the Oculus Quest 2 community, so these are all Oculus keys tonight, as well.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that are our Steam as well, so we're good there too. But yeah, thank you for the.
There's all those
Spider
videos.
wants to know what the odds of Technoglitch winning one of the keys. I think it's probably
good.
about 75%. He, for whatever reason, he seems to win every single week. I think he's in on the wheel or something.
All right, I am wish listed. Everybody go on their mobile phone. Go
Nice.
into Steam. There is a store page for it. It is $19.99. Hit the wish list. BoomBox.
Beautiful.
Very cool. And do the same thing for OhShape.
And Audio Trip.
And then do the same thing for audio.
That's one of the segments we do on our podcast on Sundays is wish lists and reviews. You know, the games that we've talked about because that's one of the things that helps developers the most to know what everybody wants. You know what I mean? Like
it helps so much. It really does. Just wish list, put it on your thing. You know, we see how many people are wish listing things, and you know, if you love a game, leave a review.
Yeah.
Helps a ton.
Yeah, I think people don't realize the magnitude. And there it is. OhShape, all done, wish listed. It's that easy, guys. It takes seconds to do it. Yeah. So it doesn't cost you anything. You know, it just gives you it gives the developers an idea of what people are looking for or what kind of interest is in the app or the game as well. So for sure. Okay.
And the more people that we have wish listing, the more cool stuff that you can maybe get, right? Like, we have tons of people wish listing that can increase all sorts of stuff, like for the community people or the people that are fighting to do stuff, you know, and do advertising. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the back end for algorithms. So
right, yeah. So especially if somebody's talking to their boss and they're like, you know, oh yeah, hey, look at these numbers. I'm like, well, shit, dude, here's the money, you know.
Exactly, it helps a lot.
Okay. Hey. All right, guys. The putting everything is in the chat now. The links, except for one more.
Cass has got a couple links in there as well. And Tech says he does not want to win because he'd have to buy Tarkov. You already said you're going to buy Tarkov. Tech.
Yeah, go buy Tarkov, Tech.
Yeah.
Surprised you don't have Tarkov.
Escape from Tarkov.
Well, we love it. We're hooked on it.
Amazing.
We've been hooked on it for about over a year, over almost 2 years. Actually, I don't know how we find time to do anything else. But I mean,
it's because all we do is play games. This is literally all we do.
We play games and we play flat. We play VR. We play. You know, we do 2 podcasts. You know, Ruuts does 2 podcasts a week. I do 2 podcasts a week. You know, we stream. He streams on Twitch. You know, I stream on YouTube, and I record videos. We got trying to run a group.
I finally streamed again yesterday on Twitch.
Did you really?
First time in like a year. Yes, I
played. Turn the notifications on for you because
Eastshade. I played. It's like you're a traveling painter, but you're everybody's animals. Very chill Zen game.
Send us real quick. Send your link to your Twitch.
I love streaming on Twitch.
It's / Ashley Riott. I hadn't streamed in a very long time, so
that's because you used to. That's how you really got you started, right?
I was a streamer. I when people say bad things about Beat Saber, it's so funny because I have like over 1,000 hours in Beat Saber. Yeah, I'm like if you go to my Twitch, there's a bunch of videos of like my old glory days when I was good at Beat Saber. But yeah,
what do you mean when you were good at it? You don't lose that, right?
I feel like you do. I feel like it goes away, but I don't know because I feel like when I used to take breaks, I would come back like stronger than ever and just like PB everything. So who knows? I may have reached my final form since I took a long break.
Well, I would tell everybody, don't play Beat Saber. Go play Audio Trip.
Yeah, dude. If you want to
play better than Craft Saber.
Or why not both?
Yeah,
I love Beat Saber.
No, go either than that. You go play Synth Riders then. Don't play Beat Saber.
Love Synth Riders. Go play OhShape. Go play BoomBox.
Yeah.
Pablo says MASH. Like, come on, bro.
Well, leave Beat Saber alone.
Yeah, the hatred is deep rooted.
It is. I can't do it.
It's such a good game for people coming into VR. That's the number one thing when people talk about VR. If they've played it, if they haven't played it, one thing across the board, they bring up Beat Saber. It's almost universally in their games they have that they're playing. It's Beat Saber. So as much as you don't like it, it's done a lot for VR in general, right?
I will give it that. It has done that.
Helps with motion sickness.
That's the only thing I'm going to give it.
Yeah, it is.
Basically, Beat Games has done nothing for the last 3 years.
They think outside the box. They're slicing a block, bro.
They got new blocks. It's amazing. They got new blocks.
Y'all are haters.
I gotta have something to hate on.
But yeah, everybody's played Beat Saber. Everybody's heard of it. If you got VR, that's And that's where I always start, right? When I tell people what I do when they ask me, I'm like, if they don't know, I'm like, have you know the game where you slice the blocks?
Well, this is the thing. Before Beat Saber came out, and this is one of the things that I used to complain about on the show all the time. There was no marketing for VR overall in general. Nothing got pushed. It was like, it was weird. It was like, do they not know what marketing is at all? You know, I guess maybe a lot of it is money. If there's no money to market, you can't market. But it was the first thing that was really pushed.
What happened around that time was the live video, the escape video came out and went viral. And I really think that was a turning point for marketing VR, was the ability to capture in mixed reality, because prior to then it was very hard to share what that experience was like. We didn't really have a way to put people into the game. And so I think that timing is relevant, right? I think there's a lot of importance to that. I think that happened around the same time, and that, you know, the way that we started presenting it and the way that people started seeing and understanding VR shifted.
Well, and it was pushed on Facebook like nobody's business. This is the thing. It was social media was finally used to its full extent, and that was one of the reasons why, like with that viral video as well, everybody saw it. I mean, it was, you couldn't have not seen it.
It was everywhere.
It piqued everybody's interest. Like, what is this? You know?
Yeah, really cool. It was really
That's
cool.
why I think it's so important that you do what you do, Ashley, is because I deal with a lot of developers. I've been dealing with a lot of developers for a couple of years, and especially the smaller ones. A lot of them are creative people that have no idea how to market their game. So it's important to have community managers and marketing directors and all these. It's such an important part that a lot of developers overlook, because again, making the game is important. That's one of the most important things. But marketing your game is almost as important, because you can make the best game in the world, but if nobody knows about it, nobody's going to play it. Nobody's going to buy it. You're not going to make any money. You're not going to be able to make the game.
Marketing is incredibly important. And it's, you know, I have presentations on like why it's important and how much you should spend and all of that. And then even community as well. You know, it's actually, that's what my GDC talk is about. It's was this review helpful? Parsing player feedback into priorities for production. And it's about deciphering, you know, the emotional stuff that's left in player feedbacks and pulling out actionable data from that. Because a lot of times players who are leaving reviews haven't been taught how to give feedback. They haven't been part of a larger creative process, and they're just upset about something. But they're still giving you important data that you need to track and create, you know, a plan around. And so that's basically what I'm going to talk about, is like where that information is, what to pull out of it, you know, what you should prioritize, what's important, what's not. Because you need to see if somebody's saying, I hate this new update, the XYZ gun is so dumb and it's not fun at all, and you're completely ruining the experience. Well, maybe there's an issue with the balance, right? Maybe there's an issue with the number of reloads, or, you know, something like that. And it's not that this player is just angry. Maybe there's, and if you want to track those things, you know, under player experience or under complaints, and see if there's a pattern that is, you know, that you can actually find data for, that's not just anecdotal and doesn't have emotional bias, because it can be really hard to separate those things, because it is your project that you care a tremendous amount about. And when people are saying me, and of course you don't take abuse. That's no excuse to ever take abuse. You should always report, you know, harassment in your reviews, but it's really important. You know, your players are your biggest group of testers, and they're who are playing your product. And it's important to listen to what they have to say, you know, even if it's hard to hear sometimes. So.
The best developers listen and fix and change and alter, or like you said, they have the wisdom to look at it and say, no, that, you know, that's a not really valid criticism, you know, but it's hard. I can imagine it's an art, you know, it's an artistic thing, no matter, it's a game, but people put a lot of time and effort into this thing, and they want it to succeed. They want what happened to Zenith is the ultimate dream. I mean, those devs, that I guarantee that night was like the best night of their life. Even though they had server issues, it was still the best thing that could have ever happened to that team. And it's exciting to see, right?
Yeah. And you want, and for me, I'm incredibly lucky, because jealousy is just not something I feel, you know. When something like that happens, I'm so happy, because I'm just like, man, this is so good for VR, and this is so good for the industry.
Everybody,
it's good for you to feel that way. I don't think
high tides raise all ships.
Thing. You know what I mean?
You know?
This is the thing. Like, I don't understand that thought process. Why not feel good for somebody else, or build them up, or try to help I think that stuff comes around. You can call it reaping what you sow. You can call it karma, whatever. It exists, and I just think being a good person's a good thing. So
yeah, it helps.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Ashley, thank you so much for being here. Let's give away some keys. What do you think?
Yeah, of course. Thank you
let's
so
go
much.
ahead and
Let's do that. Let's bring in. We have a wheel we call the Wheel of Death, or now it's called the D Wheel, because Chinatown D, one of our community, runs the wheel for us because
nice.
It was.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. It's very late. I'm very sorry. I did so good the whole time, but that was
you could say
there was like a banger on the track that came out of nowhere. Did y'all hear that in the chat? I didn't. That was like
the Chinatown D. Yeah, that's my shout out to Chinatown D.
Yeah.
Nice. I would like one of those next time I come on the show.
Hell yeah. We'll get you one. Absolutely.
Well, I always say if somebody hangs out in my streams long enough, they're gonna make a soundbite. Yeah, here's Mashes.
There you go. I was so glad.
Mashdaddy. Cool.
I like Traveling Man's. Traveling Man's is good too.
I don't have him on my
How about
thing.
you got Radio Run?
Oh yeah. Radio Run.
These are great.
Oh, they're the best. I love them.
The community is the best. That's why I love that. That's what I love about this whole thing. Is just all the different cool people.
It is. Yeah,
Can't do without them.
We do. We have the two between Virtual Strangers and Q2C VR Gamer. We have a lot of crossover. Number one, but both fantastic communities, and it's just really cool to see. So yeah, let's bring in D. Let's give away some games, and let's do that. So we'll say hi to D. Hi D.
Hello, D. Thank you so much.
Hey,
are you ready? Are you ready to spin the D wheel?
I had a hard enough time accepting Chinatown D as my name. I don't think I can.
That was lit. That was amazing.
So Ashley,
that made me exclaim an expletive.
Yeah, her gamer tag
is a different channel.
Yeah, her gamer tag is actually Chi-Town D. But when she first came into my chat for our live shows, I was reading off. I'm saying hello to everybody, and I read it off quickly, and I thought it looked like Chinatown D.
Yeah.
So I started calling her Chinatown D. And
I gave up.
Yeah, you can't beat him doing them.
Yeah, so
and plus, I got an awesome soundbite out of it.
Yeah, no kidding. That was honestly it was the best of all of the ones that I.
Oh my god! Yeah. And Traveling Man says, "How dare you, Ruuts, for not having his name in there ready to go?
How dare you?
How dare you?" Oh, Ashley, I told you we were gonna have fun, right? I told you.
Of course, always.
Right.
It's always so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Let's bring in the big wheel. The big wheel.
All right.
It's a pretty wheel. So, what are we gonna give away? We're gonna give away a couple audio trip. We're gonna give away a couple BoomBox, and we're gonna give away a couple OhShape. So let's do that, guys, and then so we'll spin the wheel. We'll give away 2 audio trip, and then 2 BoomBox, and then 2 OhShape. And thank you again to Ashley, and then thank you to the developers. I don't know the developers' names, Ashley, of BoomBox and OhShape.
I know the community people, so I know it's Boy that hooked me up.
Kenny?
Oh, nice.
Meow meow.
Meow meow the gamer cat.
Meow meow the gamer cat. That's very, very cool. Indeed, I like this. The wheels slower. I like it. It's definitely better.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Oh yeah, so I'm saying it's much better.
It's better.
Oh, it is better. I thought you said this was.
I wasn't yelling at you. No. Very cool. No, look good. So yeah, congratulations, Meow Meow the gamer cat, and just you can message me after the show.
Yeah, give him the ears. Very, very.
Oh, I know they're so good.
I approve of the winning name.
Yeah, you can message me on Messenger, Meow Meow the gamer cat, or you can hit me up in Discord at Mashdaddycool, or you can email me mashdaddycool@gmail.com. Cool. Let's spin it again, D.
Which one's this for? Or
we'll do it again. No, they're going to do another audio trip again. Such a cool game, by the way.
That's the one of the 3 that I would want.
Such a cool game. I was really shocked about the whole feel of that game.
Larry
and
Chatty.
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 Yeah,
Chatty.
Good job.
Oh, Chatty's also in chat. Chatty is in chat. I see them as well.
Oh, you know
what? Congratulations.
Oh, you know what? I gave away I think Chatty won a key to audio trip last week.
Chatty, do you need another key? We can just.
Chatty,
I'm making the rules.
Let's do this. Chatty,
Just...
yeah. Well, why don't we give Chatty a key to one of the other games?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I just promised that without even asking permission.
Yeah, Chatty, I know, right? No, we can do that. We can do whatever you want to do. But Chatty, you can either.
Yeah, she said she already has it.
Yeah, so you can either take it and give it to somebody else if you want to do that, Audio Trip, or you can choose BoomBox or OhShape, any of those other games if you want to do that. That's okay, right, Ashley? We can do that.
Of course,
right,
yeah.
We just had someone else pop onto Facebook, so let me add them over here real quick.
You said do a reroll. Or
do a reroll.
Sure, you don't want to have
so nice.
one of the other two games. Say that's nice of you. But you're very welcome to have one of the other two as well, because you did win. So either way.
All right.
Yeah, I actually did give a key away last week because I was I was kind of like prepping everything, like, hey, Ashley's coming on, and then all of a sudden I screwed it up. So I'm like, I better give.
Yeah, I'll just keep giving you a key. I understand that he does this on purpose.
You had already given one, so I had used one of those. Yeah. So Chatty says that's fine, just roll on. So okay, let's roll. We'll roll it again, and we'll give it to somebody else. So Todd usually has the music. He does the Jeopardy music. D, where's the Jeopardy music? Good job, D. Oh, Shaw just came in the chat.
Yeah.
Also here.
Oh, cool.
Hey, congratulations,
Congratulations.
Shaw Hazrill. Congratulations, my friend. And we've already communicated in the past because you've already got stuff in the past. So just hit me up on Messenger and we will take care of your key for that. Awesome. All right, let's do BoomBox.
Nice.
This is a cool little game. I'm gonna check it out. I think
this one's also brand new. Great team. Katya is their CM who got the keys. So thank you, Katya.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, you're right.
Kenny Polynesian New Zealand says today's podcast was very fun. Thanks to Ashley Riott. Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you for coming.
Chris Lebrecki.
Yeah, Chris Lebrecki.
Dickle. Oh, so close.
So close.
Hey, wasn't Chris 9909? Didn't he like showed up in Zenith? I think is what they were telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was the one too. I think he said he saw your your frozen body in the mountain in Zenith.
Ashley, my character is frozen. I can't log in. It says I'm still logged in. And
so he's stuck in the map.
People have seen me stuck in the mountain, and I don't know how.
Oh no!
But I
like you're like actually frozen, like the Lich King.
Yeah, I'm legitimately frozen. But see, this is the conundrum. I started another character, and now Mash brought up a good point. Do I just leave it there? Because now I'm memorialized. Yeah, it's a famous mountain, Ruuts Mountain.
Yeah, it's basically Mount Rushmore at this point.
Yeah. Well, we need to get Mash.
Ruutsmore, I love it.
Yeah, we need to get Mash's head and Wes's head, and then we could get a fourth stuck up there. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Chris, where was it? Chris Valentine says best guest, Ashley Riott.
Thank you, Dork. I know Chris.
Oh, okay.
Well, of course. Well, you've already had somebody say you have the best ears, and somebody said you had the best hair.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I love compliments everywhere.
Flattery will get you everywhere with me. I will accept them. I love them. I will not tell you no.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
All right, D, what do you think? One more. Let's do one more BoomBox.
Okay.
And these are Quest keys, the AppLab game Quest keys. So
all right, here we go.
Brendan Sims wants to know if this is for a key for Among Us. No, I don't think Among Us is out yet, but it is coming. People don't talk about that, but that's going to be a big game.
That's going to be awesome.
We're not giving a key away to the Room VR either.
I'm a little sus of Brendan Sims for asking that.
I know, right?
Yeah, a little sus.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, Ernie
Watson, but it didn't. Ernie.
Ernie Witten. Congratulations, Ernie.
That was another BoomBox?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
the room is good too.
Yeah, so are we giving away a key for the Room VR, man?
I don't think so. We gave away a ton of keys to the Room VR on our.
I love that game.
do it. We
It is
do
good.
a
So awesome. One of my favorites.
Yeah, virtual strangers. We do a 20. We do it at the end of the year. We do a huge award show where, and I think we gave. How many keys did we give away this year? It's like
Over 100.
Over 100
Yeah,
keys.
it was a 14-hour stream.
We did
Crazy.
14 hours.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And we gave away. People kept asking for the Room VR. And we had no keys, so I just ended up buying.
There was a kid that came in and he's like, are you guys giving away the Room VR? So it became this thing. Everybody was laughing, joking around. So Mash actually gave away a key, but the kid didn't win it. And then so he was like later asking, okay, are you giving another key away? And so Mash actually gave him his own. He's like, dude, here, I'm giving you the key.
I love that.
Yeah, it was so cool.
It was funny. But yeah, he was like, so you're saying there's no room VR key left?
That won 3 that
funny.
day.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's do some OhShape. We've got 2 OhShape.
We got 2 OhShapes.
Josh, yeah, Travel Man. That was Josh Herman.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a good kid.
Yeah. He created some content, so I was happy.
Hey, Nibblehein's here. How you doing, Nibblehein? Just in time, man. Just in time.
Oh, Dickle got it.
Dickle.
All right. Dickle Sal's Pinata.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think he had to take off though.
Yeah, he did.
I
I'll
think he's here anymore.
message him later and let him know.
You are.
Yeah, he's from the
names in there,
Philippines,
too,
so
right?
it's a different time zone for him.
God throws my
OhShape.
name in there. I have a chance to win.
Oh yeah, always. It's the Wheel of Death, so there's no.
So this is the last one. One
This
more
is it.
OhShape.
This is actually I like OhShape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a very cool game.
They're all great games. They're really good. You know, and it's super nice if you use VR for fitness to have a bunch that you can like rotate through so that your
Tech by Startup. Oh man.
There is wheel rolling bias happening here.
I know, right?
Mind
Mind
Jive.
Jive.
Oh, I love
Nice.
Mind Jive.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. This was so cool. Ashley, thank you for doing this, man. Thank you. We were just going to do some audio trip, and then you came out. She messaged me, earlier, and she's like, I was talking to these other people and the community managers, and I got these other keys for you, and this was just so cool, man. You're the best. You really are.
And make sure you wish list us because we have some special stuff coming up. So
yeah,
wish list all 3 on Steam, on Oculus. Stay up to date on all the good news. And thank you so much for having me. Y'all are always such a blast.
You're
love
welcome
that you
here.
listen to me rambling
Anytime. Even if you just want to come on and just chat and hang out with us, you are here. You're welcome here anytime because it's just it's just a fun to chat with you. You're so interesting and you have such a good take on VR that for sure. Anytime.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And your community is always such a blast. So thank y'all for always being so wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. We will talk to you very soon. Big things coming from Ashley, and we're going to see each other at GDC next month.
Yes, GDC. Yeah. I'm so excited to see you. Keep me updated.
Yeah. Hell yeah, absolutely. Good night, Ashley.
Good night.
Bye,
Thanks,
Ashley.
Easy.
Bye. Thanks so much, Chinatown D.
I love it. See you later. Guys, that was amazing. Ashley's just so cool, man. That's the second time she's been on the show. She was here with Cloudhead Games, and we did an interview with Cloudhead Games about Pistol Whip, and it was a lot of fun then. But she was with 2 other people, so that we didn't get a chance to really focus on her a lot. This was nice tonight because we really got a chance to get a little bit behind the scenes. It was nice that we weren't talking just about what she's doing, but we were talking about her thoughts on VR and her thoughts on where we are and what we're doing, right, Ruuts? And it was, I like that's why I like so much when we do things like on location with the developers where we're not going in just talking about their game. We're just going in to hang out and talk about VR in general or whatever game we're going into. You know what I mean? It's a different take when you're talking to somebody like that.
This is the thing. People have something to say, even if it's not exactly in their actual games, and I like to have the conversation go all over the place, that, and just finding more out about it was super cool.
Yeah, it was so good. Guys, we've got a ton. So basically, we've gone way over our time. I've kept Ruuts here so long. He probably hasn't eaten dinner yet. So we got to get going, but we have some stuff to give away. So basically, let's just try and burn through this. What do you think, guys? Just try and burn through this. Yeah, I do want to mention one more thing before we get going with the rest of this stuff. Real Optics, guys. Real Optics is still doing their giveaway. they're basically giving away lenses for life to one lucky winner in the group or in the YouTube. You can go back to the original YouTube video that we did it on, which was 2 weeks ago, episode 28. And you can comment in that one to be entered, or you can go to the Facebook group if you're in the Facebook group and look under what is it? In the featured posts, and look under the Real Optics post, and you can just put your name. You can put your name in there as well. That is going to end in 2 weeks. So try and get yourself in there. Win a set of these lenses for life, basically. If anytime you're
not mean to spin that.
This is a test.
Misclick, sorry.
Whoever it lands on is going to feel like they got ripped off. They're like, dude, that should have been me.
Unless it's
technical glitch, and he has to
if it's tech, then we're going to all be happy.
I'm so sorry, man.
No worries, D. No worries.
Who was it?
Nibelheim.
Nibelheim. Oh, I love me some Nibelheim.
Just a warm-up, Nibelheim. Just a warm-up for when you win.
Exactly.
All right. So, yeah, Real Optics, guys, go sign up. Lenses for life. I mean, how the hell you beat this? These guys are amazing to do that. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's a good giveaway.
For life, bro.
For life, man. Another headset comes next year. Send them the thing, and they'll give you a set of lenses for that
does
headset.
It transfer, like, if you die?
You can't,
no, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. That would be good, right? You transfer
just pass it down to your kid, just be on there forever.
Technical glitch says you're fired, D.
Well, considering she's doing it for free, considering she's doing it for free. Yeah, considering she's doing it for free, and I was sitting here thinking about this. She was adding names. That's Todd. Right. That's a good thing Todd's not doing. That's a lot of work.
It is. That's why D was so cool to do this. Yeah, because
you know
awesome. What was happening. It was tough. It's tough to keep in the conversation. Like even with me tonight, sometimes I'm having an issue with trying to work at other things. So Todd's trying to work everything else on the board. I mean, you know how it is, Ruuts, when you're producing a show.
Yes.
I mean, you do it for Virtual Strangers all the time. You do it flawlessly, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes. Like, you don't see what Ruuts is doing. When you're watching Virtual Strangers, you don't see what his hand's doing, but his hand is probably constantly moving on his mouse to click into new scenes or new videos or whatever background, or move screens, or he's adjusting the sound sometimes. So there's a lot of things that you're doing when you're in the producer's role that you guys don't see. So when Todd was doing all that, plus having to make sure that everybody's name was in that wheel, it was just too much. And when we had that Christmas show, we had over 100 and some people in the chat, and he was trying to put all his names in there. It's just too much, and he just wasn't able to. He wasn't able to participate in the conversation because I was talking, and I would say something to him, and he wouldn't even register what I was saying. So if me, I'm asking him questions. You know what I mean? I'm not making it easy on him. I'm throwing him curveballs, and he's like, "What?" So he's trying to keep. So D, what we're trying to say is, D, you doing this has just been a lifesaver.
You rock. We appreciate it. D Millen says, "Oh yeah, his hand is constantly moving." You know who else's hand is constantly moving?
My mom.
Oh yeah, dude.
That probably didn't sound good behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, dude, I guarantee you 100%. I'm not Jeffrey Toobin. Okay, I'm not tubing it.
Tubing it.
No, it's, and I know I've said it before, but honestly, Mash, and anything I can do to help this group means so much to me.
No, I appreciate it.
So any little thing that I can do to help you guys out, I got you.
You're awesome, D. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We really do. I mean, it's amazing. And Graham William Henry says the room. I don't think we're doing the room. Too funny. All right, guys, let's do this. We got we have 2 more keys to give away, and these keys were donated by community members, guys. So we were just talking about D,
big one.
D doing what she's doing to help the community. There's a lot of things that other people are doing too. And I just want to say thank you. And guys, by no means does anybody ever have to do this. Don't feel that you need to or have to donate keys. It's if you want to, it's amazing. But again, it's just you guys being here is enough for me. It's enough for Ruuts if he's here. It's enough for Todd. So just because somebody donates something, don't feel that you have to ever do that. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. Just you guys being here and supporting us by watching and being here talking to us and hanging out, that's what we love and that's what we care about. But we did have some.
No, I was gonna say, if you want to donate a like, donate a share. Share this channel out. Get it bigger so that we can reach more people. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, we appreciate everybody being here and watching, and you know, it's just amazing. And we had 2 amazing people that did decide to donate keys this week, and you know, one of them is a guy that he's just such a good guy. He's done so much for and supporting this community. And I finally last week got a chance to hang out with him for the first time in person, and you know, hear his voice and talk to him. And that's Troy Gillis. He's
cool.
going to donate. He's going to donate a key to Zenith, man, the most amazing game out there. And I saw him earlier in chat. I don't know if he's still here watching, but it was nice to be able to get a chance to talk to him last Thursday. We had, geez, I don't know, we had like 15 people in the tavern in Zenith, and it was nice just to have everybody in there hanging out and talking. I can actually hear some of these people's voices that I've come to know, you know, through chat, which is amazing when you actually get to talk to somebody, right, Ruuts? When you get to talk to somebody not in person, but through voice that you've been chatting with, you know, through text or. You know, they hear our voices, but we never hear their voices for a long time.
It's crazy, too. And you never know where things are going to lead to. Because I was thinking about this the other day, you know, like walkabout mini golf. I met Mashdaddy for the first time playing with our community. And he was telling me how he, you know, super fan of the show, listened to every episode, did a binge thing as he was working, driving across, you know, wherever you were going. And and then a year and a half later, you're one of my best friends. You're on the show. It's kind of cool how everything works out, right?
It is amazing how these things happen. Yeah, it is. It really is, and that's what it is. It just happened. And you know, Ruuts was streaming, and you know, I had been watching the show. I'd binge watched a lot of the show, and then I watched the show every week. And you know, he was streaming a lot, and like Pop One and stuff. And you know, I just started, you know, hanging out and chatting. We just hooked up one night, and we started playing Walkabout Mini Golf, and then we started playing Pop One, and we started playing this and that. And, you know, look at where we are now, you know?
Yeah.
And again, you know, Ruuts has become one of my best friends. So,
yeah, it's cool. Johnny 5.
So, D, you crying, D? Don't cry. It's okay. it is sweet. It is sweet.
It is. You know, it's. I just think it's how good God is. It's how everything works, right? But like Johnny 5 is what I'll know Mash forever.
I'm like D. I have so many names, man.
I don't know, man. I got a few.
Yeah, too funny. So yeah, I just want to again say thank you to Troy Gillis. You're amazing, dude. Troy and his wife, because his wife is a big part of his decisions when he's donating these things too. And you know, I haven't actually, you know, talked to her directly, but I know she's supportive of the community too. So Troy, thank you to your wife for doing this. This is really amazing. So guys, let's do this. We're gonna do the other key first. So the other key that we had donated was by one of our newest patrons. Felipe Lieras. So Felipe contacted me after the show last week, and he's like, I love this game, Arcade. I'd love to be able to give it to somebody. So he donated a key for Arcade, man, which is, as I said earlier, another freaking
2
great
good games,
man.
right?
Yeah.
I just tried Arcade for the first time yesterday. I bought it on sale for like $5. Amazing.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's a good deal.
Crazy good game
for $5. Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I mean, just another cool person. Thank you for being part of the community, Felipe. And you know, and thanks for hanging out with us. He was here. I think he's here now. And him and Kyle Kitchings both work together. I think it's cool that they work together and they can enjoy VR together. And they always hang out here at the show together. So, thank you guys for being part of the community and being part of the show.
Pablo Felipe says, it's important to me that Kyle does not win the key I donated. I wouldn't hear the end of it if he did.
Kyle, you're off the wheel. Sorry, bro.
Bam.
Too funny. Cool. All right. So guys, this is going to be for Arcade. This is Arcade.
all right. Here we go.
Spin that baby.
Nibelheim.
Oh, Nibelheim, he deserves it.
Dude, I already feel like a jerk for that misclick trigger finger.
Random's random. If you spun this thing right now, it's just because it went on Nibelheim when you did before doesn't mean it's going there.
Yeah, true.
That's the thought.
The Sept.
I knew it was going to be the Sept.
All right, the Sept.
Who doesn't love the Sept?
Hell yeah, that's so cool. The Sept. Just hit me up. You know how I think we've talked before. You can hit me up many different ways. Through Messenger at Eric Masher. You can hit me up on email, mashdaddycool@gmail.com, or through Discord at Mashdaddycool.
Oh, he already has it, he says.
Oh, okay. He already has Arcade.
I guess a reroll.
So I'll do this one time just for I can do it once. I have a couple other games, the Sept. So if you want to contact me, message me, and I will see if I can give something
Do
to you that you
something else.
don't have. That's close to the same type of game.
So
So
at least that means Arcade's still out there. Re-roll that
yep,
bit.
we'll
Let's do
roll
it.
Arcade, but the Sept, I can't do that for every time, guys. If somebody has it, but I'll do it the one time. I usually try and do it at least once. So the Sept, you can contact me, and I'll see if I can get you hooked up with somebody else, something else. But somebody's gonna win Arcade. Let's go.
Techno glitch.
No, he doesn't win. He doesn't win that game. He has to buy Tarkov.
Yeah,
That's right. Well, he's gonna have to buy Tarkov anyway because he said if we bought Elden Rings on PC, he would
Ashley?
Ashley Trouble.
Ashley?
Oh, such a
Ashley
good
got
game.
it.
Ashley Trouble.
Congratulations,
She's
Ashley.
not. Just to let you know, she's not really trouble.
No.
No, she's cool.
It. She is cool. She is very cool. Congratulations, Ashley.
Then it's
awesome.
good because if it had been Zenith, she already owns that.
That's true too. Right? Exactly. Yeah, no problem. The Sep. Just message me later, and we'll figure out something for you. I've got a couple keys we can work out. And congratulations, Ashley. And Ashley, you know how to message me. Just message me to remind me. That's the only reason. I already have you on Messenger, but just message me to remind me. But otherwise, if I remember as soon as the show's over, I'll send your key over.
She might not even be out there, but I'll remind her.
Ah, there you go. We have ways.
Yes. I may or may not talk to her later.
All right. So here's the big one, guys. So before we do this, we'll say that I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We missed Todd, but thank you to Ruuts and Wes for filling in.
And D.
Yeah, well, always for D. She's amazing. But you guys are amazing. Ruuts, thanks you for being here the whole time. I know that Ruuts basically got home from work probably and just jumped on here. So thanks, man. We really appreciate it.
No, dude, I'm always for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And then I'll just say, guys, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're growing every day. It's getting really busy. We appreciate it. But if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. If you are subscribed, please hit the bell because we got content constantly going on. And if you don't hit the bell, you don't know when we go live and you don't know when new videos drop. And, we're going to try and at least have 3 or 4 videos a week. We're working hard on it right now. And, we're getting better with our videos. It's a work in progress. So I think every video we do, I learn something. I know that. And I think each one's getting better and better. And we have a hater, but I love the hater. Keep giving me the thumbs down, buddy.
Yeah, thumb it down. I'll tell you what, Tech says he's got a better chance of winning a hoodie. I think Tech really wants a hoodie, man, at some point.
He does. I think what we're going to do is next week, guys. Next week, I don't care how many people we get in chat. We're giving a hoodie away next week for sure. We haven't done one in a long time. It's time we do one next week. It's going to be a special week. We're going to have some cool people on. We're giving away a hoodie. There we go. There you go, Tech. You got a good chance to win. But yeah, again, thank you guys. Again, always, before we give away the Zenith key, the Patreon's available. If you guys want to try and help us out a little bit for as little as $1.99 a week or a month, you can join the Patreon. And we have some cool things in there. We have 4 tiers available that you can choose from. And, if you want to choose either tier 3 or tier 4, you can come hang out with me and Todd and D. We can when we do our show prep for the week, you can actually come in with us. You can listen to us. You can actually give us some ideas that we might want to do for the show. You can have a hand in what we do and how we shape the content we have coming out for the future. But please go check it out if you'd like. We would greatly appreciate it. Let's give somebody a key to Zenith. Make somebody happy.
Chris9989 wants to know if the hater is Bruno. I don't.
No, we don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
No. I love the hater. The hater went through and thumbed down every one of our videos because I just noticed that we now have a thumbs down in every video.
Tech's gonna buy Tarkov.
Yes. He already owns it.
Finally.
Hell yeah, man. Tech buys Tarkov.
Tech buys Tarkov. He's going to be buying it anyway.
Yeah.
It's such a good game. Who doesn't want to buy Escape from Tarkov?
Techno Glitch, congratulations on buying Tarkov. But seriously, you did win the key to Zenith. I know you do already have it. Would you like to...
Oh, Laura's got a headset now.
Yeah, do you want to take that key and give it to Laura, or would you want to re-roll it, or do you want to... Because it's a big key, I will allow you to trade it for another key. I've got some other keys.
No.
Who says no? You had
Got to. How about no? You have to.
So yeah, just give us a heads up, Tech. What you want to do? Are you going to take the key for Laura, or do you want a different key, or do you?
He's taking it.
Okay.
Oh, he's taking it.
He's taking it.
I think Laura will like it.
I think you should. If she's
cool
willing,
too,
yeah. If
we've
she's
never
willing
hung
to
out
get
with her in there in
yeah,
VR.
If she's willing to play, man, you should definitely take the key and give it to Laura because I know she's really getting into VR, and it would be fun to get in there and play with her too. So
she may not be liking it, or at least
okay. What do I got?
She may be saying, "I'm not playing that game."
Jack, I'll let you pick, man. If you want, I have a whole bunch of games, and you can pretty much pick whatever you want.
But then that means somebody else here gets another chance.
Yeah.
He has to give it to her.
Okay, sorry. So you're all right. So that's it. We're giving it to him. I don't want to keep jumping back and forth. Yeah. Congratulations, Laura, for winning.
Yes, Laura's one of my favorite girlfriends of one of my friends.
Yeah,
there's many of them out there, or wives.
Yeah,
Mash Mama Cool, Michelle. There's a lot of cool people.
D. Yeah, hell yeah.
D.
Yeah. And again, thank you to Troy Gillis and thank you to Felipe Lieras for purchasing those keys. Amazing. You know, Troy's having so much fun in Zenith, and he just wanted to bring that to somebody else and bring somebody else in the community. You guys are super cool. And Arcade is another great game. Like Dee said, just a lot of fun. Really good game. Guys, we're gonna do this again next week. We've got some cool guests. Again, we got Daniel Nelmar from Plutosphere coming on. He's also from VR Trend Magazine. I don't know if you guys know that. He actually also works with VR Trend Magazine. He's the guy who helped me get to get us Virtual Strangers and Q2C into that copy of VR Trend Magazine. But he's also working with Plutosphere. So we're going to talk Plutosphere. We're going to talk Z-Storm Gaming. I'm a big fan of Ruuts. I don't know if you know that. Ruuts,
I did not know that.
I love from Z-Storm Gaming. Is big fan.
I love big fans of Ruuts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It makes me feel good.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, dude, there's no Ruuts fans out there. But Traveling Man said he's one. So
hell yeah. No, there's a lot of Ruuts fans out there, man. Look at D. She loves you.
Yeah. Well, she may or may not be a Ruuts fan. She may just be putting up with Ruuts.
Well.
You know what?
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for us. It's been a long night. We're almost 3 hours in, which is crazy. We had like 2 topics to talk about. We're 3 hours in, man. But
that's how crazy
it works
when
you get when you get talking to cool people about VR, and that's how it goes. But again, thank you guys to everybody. Go see Virtual Strangers Sunday, guys. Start for Virtual Strangers show. Wes and Ruuts will be on there, rocking and rolling as always on Sundays, and then we'll see you guys next week, or we'll actually come see us on Wednesday for Strangers in the Night. And then we'll see you next Thursday for Q2C VR Gamer Live. For my friend Ruuts up top, right there. And our newest good friend D, who's running the wheel right down there. Good night, everybody. See you next week.